it against this right back, Charlie. Definitely.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Come on.
Just want to check everyone can hear me. I'm pretty sure they can. Big up yourselves, people. Deluded, I'm back again. We're finally back at the Emirates Stadium in the Emirates Cup. It's Arsenal against Leverkusen. Again, is there such thing as a friendly in football? I very much doubt so, but it's quote unquote a friendly. Obviously, it's just about getting us fit for next season. In fact, next week, really, because we've got our 2 games. This is the first of 2 Emirates Cup games. We've got Lyon on Sunday, and then it's showtime against Wolves, really and truly. And the time for talking is done. I'm sure you lot would have seen the information that apparently Timber isn't in the squad. We'll get over that. And it's a bit unclear what we're doing with Calafiori, because some reports say he's not with the squad. Some people have put up videos where he's with the squad. Some say he's with the squad but not playing. Honest to God, who knows, people? But nonetheless, we'll watch and see exactly what there is, man. Yo, DG, the lineup is dead. Do you expect it to be anything else, really? Obviously, it's a chance to give minutes to others, to rest the legs of others. Again, I haven't seen the lineup, but I hope to God that maybe I'm hoping for no reason. That's an exaggeration, but it would be nice to see Declan Rice, Bukayo Saka, and to be fair with you, David Raya, but let's face it, if Ramsdale stays, he isn't going to get too many games, so he might as well play today, really and truly. In fact, the lineup is out. Bit harsh to call it dead. You know, we've seen some worse lineups during preseason. Again, let me get that on screen for you lot. Let me know your prediction, thoughts, etc. Welcome back, Granit Xhaka on that. David Raya, White, Saliba, Gabriel, Zinchenko, Jorginho, Kai Havertz, Martin Odegaard, Fabio Vieira, Trossard, and Jesus. On the bench, you've got Aaron Ramsdale, Setford, young Aiden Heaven, who done very well in the American part of our preseason preparations. Ethan Nunwary and obviously Lewis Skelly are also on the bench, as is young Josh Nichols. You've got Partey, Martinelli, and Nketiah and Saka as well. Now, Thomas Partey scares me more than Timber. I think Timber being left out is purely a precaution. Life has kind of come at Timber far since his ACL. We're kind of having to tread carefully in that regards. And, you know, a few weeks ago, Arteta did say we're going to have to be careful with the minutes. Big up to you lot that watched my video earlier today. You would have heard me go over this, in which I said that I think he probably had to play more minutes in preseason than he would have liked to, owing to the squad. Fabio Vieira, again, I think you're more at home as a 10 or an 8, but Mikel Arteta has utilized you out wide a lot, so you've got to take your advantage. You've got to take your game time where you can get them and use that to your advantage. And it's a big season for Fabio Vieira in whatever minutes he plays. So yeah, Trossard, I'm cool with that. Jesus, I'm cool with that. Kai Havertz ain't in midfield, is he? Nah, he can't be in midfield. Shout out to you, Kai Havertz. We can't be in midfield, man. Just put Trossard. It probably is, but put Trossard in the 10, man. And this is why we need to get Mikel Moreno or whoever it is sorted, if I'm completely honest. Bit happy to see Benjamin White play. You know, I'd give White the day off against Lyon, but I don't expect it to. He's played almost every or significant minutes of preseason. Nice to welcome back Saliba and Gabriel as a partnership. The same goes for David Raya. Zinchenko has changed his squad number, people. He's number 17, so hopefully he gets them Alexis Sanchez powers. Odegaard is Odegaard. And I'm backing Gabriel Jesus. If he doesn't get 15 league goals, I've said, people, I'll cancel my YouTube channel. On that, make sure you're following my second YouTube channel that we just started. Vieira ain't good enough. I'm not going to lie, man. You've got one more season for me, Fabio Vieira. Again, I don't expect you to be a player of significance, but I expect you to be useful and utilize yourself in some degree. We always talk about a squad. Now, I know the market isn't closed, but realistically, if we go back to last summer when we got Timber, when we got Raya, when we got Declan Rice, when we technically got Kai Havertz, and they've all done well, they've all brought something. We sat there on this very platform, some of you lot were here, and we said, in our hearts, have we really improved the depth of this team? Probably not. Have at this moment in time, and again, the window is still open, have we improved the depth? Have we made significant progress in that regards? Now, again, signings can still happen, but have we really? Really and truly, you know, still more or less got the same midfield options. Yeah, you've got Calafiori. He liked him, but he isn't in the match day squad. I don't want to urge panic, but to be devil's advocate, if we start Wolves against Wolves, and for whatever reason, those two and Tomiyasu now are not involved, where does that place us with Zinchenko? So we'll have to see, man, if I'm honest with you. I need to see some signings. Why no Calafiori? Honestly, I don't have a clue, man, but I don't know, man. I'd imagine he's played a lot of minutes in the Euros. So obviously travelled back and forth. Might be whatever metrics they judge you on your fitness. He might be behind certain people. Maybe there's an underlying problem or a minor knock that we don't know about because you have seen him in training. It's purely precautionary to me, but it's a bit disappointing because obviously Arsenal are back in football, back in the Emirates better yet. We're playing, we're doing what we're doing. Many fans would have loved to have seen Calafiori, our new signing, shiny new toy. You haven't seen that really. So we'll have to see. If you're watching this on the stream, share the links as well. Oh man, Havertz in midfield is not going away. I'm heading there now. Safe journeys to you, your social joins, and safe journeys to everyone, really and truly, all over the world. But in London, I mean, it's important that we don't live in a bubble. I think everybody can see the scenes that are going on all over England, and rumors of Walthamstow and things like that. Even rumors of Stoke Newington at this moment in time. So everybody, please do your best to get to and from wherever you're going safe, please, because it's quite disgusting. This very sport that we watch that. It doesn't care if you're white, black, man, woman, young, old, whatever, that unites people. All you care about is, are you a good footballer or not? We're talking about this against the backdrop of what you're seeing in this nation at this moment in time. It's not going to go anywhere anytime soon. Shout yourself, Prince. Would have at least loved Ethan or Salah to start. I hear it, but I'm not going to lie to you. As much as I think I want to see Ethan make some progress this season, I want to see him get some minutes. I expect him to. The same goes for Lewis Skelly, and I'd rather all the young players get some minutes. The time for that's done now, really and truly. The bulk of the players that have to be utilized for the majority of the season as we look to, third time lucky after the last 2 years there, you have to give significant minutes. I don't know where they're at, where fitness is concerned. And a lot of players, whether they were at the Euros or Copa America or whatever they're doing, they keep themselves fit. But you would imagine Saliba isn't playing 90 minutes, and you'd imagine he's probably come back in decent condition, just like Saka and Rice, who are not, well, they're on the bench. They're not in the starting lineup. The same could be said to a slight degree of Jorginho and Zinchenko, who exited the Euro slightly earlier. Gabriel was at the Copa America. Jesus, again, scoring goals is an issue, but he's kept himself ticking over. So, yeah, man, Fabio Vieira is going to have to do his thing. They really like this Nichols. I don't think he's going to make it here, but, he's got Kane Rose and he's a fullback, so I'm with that. Interesting, no Kivior in the squad getting sold. Jonathan, I must admit, now that you said that, where is Tierney and Kivior? Now, Kivior is obviously more in the immediate thinking. There could be an injury. There could be something. Maybe silence is golden, because it has felt like in the last few weeks is an exaggeration, maybe the last week or so, Kivior at one point, if it wasn't going to be Reece Nelson already in Nketiah or Smith Rowe, it felt like Kivior was the one that was going to head out. Now, it did seem like there's radio silence, but maybe there's something going on in that regards, because Kivior, I don't know how he looks at things, but he might say, you know what, Zinchenko's probably going to play more minutes than me. Tomiyasu, Timber, and obviously Calafiori are going to play more minutes than me. There's a lot of collective centre-halves that are more likely to play ahead of me. I want to keep it moving. And if he does go again, it'd be interesting to see what sort of departure he makes. Is it a loan with an obligation? Is it a loan with an option to buy? Is it a permanent sale? Because naturally, those Italian clubs, they're going to act broke when they're going for Kivior. And when we did see those links to Italian clubs for Kivior, it seemed like they wanted him on loan, while Arsenal wanted a loan with an obligation, a bit like what you're seeing with Tavares. So I have to see. Where's Calafiori? He's not here. He's probably in the stadium. Not sure for Tierney. I mean, Tierney, he's injured, to be fair with you. So, yeah. But it's interesting that, if you go and look on Arsenal's program today, normally whether players are injured or not, the whole squad is on the back of the program. The whole squad is listed. Tierney isn't. Kivior and Tierney not in the lineup, period. Timber and Calafiori not fit to start today. Zubimendi, my son, Anfield awaits. Follow your heart. I hear it, man. I've covered that. And on my second channel, I've got a video coming out. If Zubimendi goes to Liverpool, what does that mean for Arsenal? When Arsenal tried to get him, Man United have tried, Bayern Munich have been linked, Barca have linked. What have they told him that the others failed to do? Jorginho, Vieira in the starting 11, Ryan Saliba in the starting 11 also, Saka and Rice on the bench. Just passing through to show my love on my way to the game. My first one at any stadium and nowhere better than the Emirates. Safe travels and hope it's a game to remember, man. Hope you don't get stung by a 0-0. DG, what's your ideal price for Kivior? Ideal price would be to fleece a club for 50 million, really, but You do well to get us a little 30 to 40 million euros, if I'm honest. I do suspect he goes on loan with some sort of obligation to buy, which isn't the best, the worst of things. If he goes on loan, has a good loan spell, next summer that could be something to deal with. Arteta needs to be charged for war crimes. How many times are we going to have Bomchenko, Jorginho, and Kai Havertz left centre mid? Bit extreme to say war crimes. You know, he's just a football coach, but I hear it to a degree. I mean, I don't think anyone's expecting anything amazing with Kai Havertz. Listen, big up Havertz, but I don't think anyone's expecting fireworks with him in the middle. I think it's just about minutes. If I see that a week from now, well, a week's an exaggeration. If I see that next Saturday, there's issues, really and truly. Because I'm quite disappointed with our lack of central midfield signings. I know Mikel Moreno, it seems like we're trying a thing, but still, like, we're not stronger in the middle of the park. We haven't got a winger. We haven't got a striker. Fair enough, the striker thing, we all know it's very delicate, but haven't brought in a striker. Haven't done anything at central midfield. Ain't got another attacker. Cool, we've got Calafori, and the window, isn't open. It isn't closed, but yeah, man. Deluded, I've heard Timber had a setback with his knee and out of games in training, mate. I don't know for the Timber thing. I think it's just wait and see. Hopefully that's not the case, but if it is, we're going to have to get on with it. Mate, I don't want Osimhen anywhere near our club, only Gyökeres. I'm cool. Listen, if they get Osimhen, if they get Gyökeres, do your thing, really. I don't really have a preference for the strikers, if I'm honest. And it is nice to have Saliba and Raya back. Where we going where predictions are concerned? Arteta is from the Basque region. If Zubamendi goes to Liverpool, I'll be asking questions. Maybe we don't have 60 million up front to pay his release clause. I don't know. Declan Rice, you lost to Zubamendi once. Don't let him boss you again if he cuts through. Andrew, that's cool. What happened to Van Dijk at the Emirates and Alisson? On-slot, possession-based football. Ain't no one scared of you lot no more, man. Havertz is cold, but Havertz in midfield is like finding out your girl's twerking or next man like Zidane when he defends. Damn. I mean, no one's trying to. Kai Havertz in midfield is horrible to watch. Let's be honest. I think there's a lack of honesty with Havertz in midfield. I think especially certain content creators, journalists, fans, he's played absolutely terrible or he's been absolutely amazing. I think he does the basics well, but the midfield thing, unless a miracle happens, which I would love to see, if we could talk about Kai Havertz in midfield in the same way we do up front, who wouldn't be against that? But he's poor there, and I would love to know where Mikel Arteta sees Kai Havertz. We all know he's versatile. He can play in a bunch of roles. He scored a Champions League winning goal as a false nine. Central midfield, he can play there. Whatever I think, he's played there for Arsenal. He's played there for Chelsea. He's played there for Germany. So these managers must know something. But something's missing. We all know Kai Havertz was forced to play central midfield. Had it have worked, would we have ever seen a prolonged period of with Kai Havertz up front? And to be fair, the injuries we suffered was probably a saving grace for Havertz, to the point where, you know, had Havertz have never played up front or didn't put in convincing performances, I personally think, forget us fans, but those at the club will probably be looking at what we're trying to do in the summer market, specifically up front, a lot differently. I like Kai Havertz up front. Honestly, I think he's the strongest option we have of the existing guys. You know, big fan of Gabriel Jesus. Kai Havertz is more likely to score than you, which is saying that. Plus, Gabriel Jesus gets injured. So if we don't bring in a striker, and obviously Trossard can play there, what does that mean for Eddie Nketiah's future? 1 minute Marseille are not on it. They don't want to spend the money. You see in reports, actually, just as we've simultaneously gone live, that Arsenal are actually budging on their asking price and are prepared to do business. And if we do let Eddie go for whatever, 30 odd million, whatever they're talking about, don't forget to smash the like button. We're doing terrible in that regards, folks. If we get a decent fee for Nketiah on top of what we got for Smith Rowe, not sure for Nelson, because West Ham have gone and got Somerville, and it seems like that isn't going anywhere where Leicester's concerned. But if you get these guys gone, maybe there's money to play around and try something, man. Who knows, though, folks? We've got Lyon after this, and then the Prem starts. There you have it. If you could sell 3 people at Arsenal, who would you sell? 3 people. I don't want to pick the easy answers. 3 people. It's a good question. 3 players. Kivior, there seems to be a market for you. Like, how many players is there actually a market? And you seem like you could fetch a decent fee. Kivior, Eddie Nketiah, because it seems like there's a market, and I think it's the only way Eddie stays is if you're going to be a body to cope with any sort of injuries. But it's probably best that both people depart. So who have I said? I've said Kivior, I've said Eddie Nketiah. Same logic, Reece Nelson. Unpopular opinion, and you lot know I'm a big fan of this guy. But within the next 2 years, I'd be monitoring what we're doing with Tomiyasu very closely and how his injuries persist. If we can find someone that can do that Tomiyasu stuff, potentially. Why does he never play Jorginho left centre mid? I wish I had an answer. Probably because he deems that. No, to be fair, he has played there, but on a consistent basis, we'd have to ask Mikel Arteta. If I'm honest with you, EDL man in ends. Racism, God forgive me, but you see me. I can't wait till you come to Emmen. I can't wait, please. Because there's only one way you should be dealing with racism, and that's kicking it out. And these guys are thugs. And you know what the scariest thing about this racism stuff is? You know, these people will go back to being normal citizens of society. It's not just trailer trash sort of people. These people could be doctors and delivery men and etc. So this is driven by ignorant hate. That's the worst thing. And there's one thing I hate in this world. It's an absolute coward. You know, like I was reading the news today, and like one guy was doing all that madness in Middlesbrough, and he's crying in the dock as he's being remanded in custody. You don't start crying now. You was a bad boy when you was out there. Like, let's hope you don't run into any Muslims or ethnic minorities in prison. Like, because it's thank the Lord, it's not going to end well for you. Which I hope it don't. There's no time like big 2024, and you hate someone because of their religion, their race, their color, their culture. No one's got time for that, man. Liverpool going for Zubimendi and we're starting Jorginho. Listen, I want a midfielder. I would love Zubimendi. I've made so many videos waffling, and Liverpool could very well go and get that done where they're concerned. But all the David Ornstein article says at this moment in time, which it can progress quickly, is they're exploring if a deal could be done. Liverpool have to pay his release clause up front, as they know, and they have to convince the man. You see the ethnic 11 on socials, yeah, man. Like, you can never doubt social media's ability to take the most serious of incidences and have a laugh about it. But to be fair, if you don't laugh, you're gonna cry, man. But yeah, to go back to that question about three players, I think I said Eddie and Nketiah, Kivio, and probably Reece Nelson. If I'm honest, looks like Leverkusen are gonna win. Got two players who are not good or good if defending. I think you mean good at defending if needed. Oh, well, hope we win, but don't really see it. Listen, hope we win, man. 6 p.m. kickoff is correct. Sadiq, appreciate you. Big up yourself, K. Racists are bad people. Hate is hate. Never needed. By all means, I hate a lot of people in this world, you know. I hate a lot of people, whether they're black, white, whatever, but I hate them for who they are. Like, not because of their color. Like, and it's just driven by ignorance, more or less, man. It's just nonsense, but forget it, man. It's ironic we need a Xhaka in there. Xhaka's a quality player, and I think we miss him. But I also think we miss him because of our inability to replace him. As good as Xhaka was, especially in those last 2 years, like it's not a Gundogan, a Patrick Vieira, Xavi, or Iniesta. It's just because we met. If you go and sign Kai Havertz and big up Jorginho, but we know Jorginho's not got any longevity, and you know you have to wrap Partey and Cotton Wool. If you don't bring in a like-for-like replacement based on the system you're showing us or proper options, of course we're going to waffle about Granit. And Granit put in a bloody good shift defensively. And another thing that, ironically, Kai Havertz has that Xhaka had is he rarely ever got injured. Afternoon, mate. DJ, I'm looking at Trossard, how you're looking at Tomiyasu. Now, the only reason I would sell Tomiyasu is if you find a replacement that's more durable. Injury is the only thing that will make me sell Tomiyasu. And I think it's kind of, I personally think the club might consider that based on the length of years he got on his new deal, if I'm honest. Had he not been an injury-prone player for as qualities he is, I think he would have a number of other years on his deal. Trossard, I don't understand it. I mean, at the end, I do get it. I do see a lot of fans say this, that if we had another inside forward and you get offered something that you can't really turn down for Trossard, then maybe, but I'm not selling Trossard anytime soon. And definitely, I can't look at my Arsenal squad and say, I think the midfield options, nothing else to say. Up front, nothing else to say. I think defense, all right, cool. Like, we're quote unquote sorted there with Benjamin White, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori. Now, I guess on paper, technically, you still have Kirill, Zinchenko, Tierney, lol. And I'm probably Benjamin White and Timber, if I haven't said their names, such as the depth. Midfield on paper, I like Jorginho. Partey is my guy. Declan Rice and Odegaard, they do what they're doing. I like how Fabio Vieira plays, but when you break it down throughout a 38-game season, and then you factor in the Champions League, which now has 2 extra games, however many is in the FA Cup, however many is in the League Cup, you know you have to wrap Partey in cotton wool, and everybody expects him to get injured. I like Jorginho, but Jorginho is not a player that you're going to play 3 times in 10 days, twice a week if he can help it, through no fault of his own. That's just where he's at. Obviously, Fabio Vieira can play everywhere, but hasn't really locked down nothing. So, yeah, man. And considering Edu and Mikel Arteta, you were central midfielders, this should be the one area that should have been wrapped up. But I'll reserve drawing conclusions when the market closes. But it is somewhat frustrating for me because I can't say we can see it as fans. Like, there's a lot of decisions Mikel Arteta has made that haven't been universally popular that have worked out. But as a fan, you can see the areas of evident improvement. You can see you bring in a striker, we can go to another level. Or, you know, that December period maybe doesn't happen for as long as it did. You bring in another versatile attacker, you can see where we're going. You bring in another centre mid or two, you can see where we're going. And then it's just about complementing the side. I'm not looking at now so much, but I think next season Trossard might have to bounce if we can upgrade. I'll keep Trossard as a squad player, man, if I'm honest. If an offer gets made for Trossard that we can't refuse or he wants to keep it moving, even if you sign another inside forward, I think Trossard has shown us he can. Sometimes I think he's come off the bench and flattered to deceive. Sometimes I think he started games and not done well. But generally, Trossard can start games. He can come off the bench and do well. He's probably, would it be fair to say he's our, I know other people can play in other positions, but would it be fair to say he's our most versatile attacker as well? Obviously, he went on that rich run of form last season, and I'd describe him as the best finisher at the club. If the best finisher at the club probably isn't in Mikel Arteta's starting 11, give or take with Martinelli's form for the whole of last season, you see why I think we need some attacking reinforcements, man. But I'm not getting rid of Trossard. Trossard could be utilised in the squad, man. I'm cool with Trossard. And it's a bit irrelevant, but you're 28, 29. A bit like Partey, Jorginho, if we sell Moreno. I'm not saying the younger players want to mess around, but they've got even more of a sense of urgency. You know, they're playing devil's advocate. Saliba, White, Saka, these guys got many years in front of them, even though the average footballer's career is only 9 years. So you get where I'm going with that, man. But yeah, Trossard, I'd be open to offers. I would say there'd only be a couple of players generally at this football club. Everybody's got a price, as we know. Everyone gets a price. 200 million for Saka, 100 plus million. Clubs are maybe not selling, but you're listening. So everyone's got a price. But for me, untouchables, what I would say, I'm not selling Saka for nothing. Odegaard, you're staying put. Saliba, you're not, unless you get stupid offers. Saka, Saliba, Odegaard. I think that's it. Declan, to a slight degree, in comparison to them. I think Gabriel could be thrown there, but I don't think he's as untouchable as the others, even though he's integral to the system. I love Martinelli, but I don't think he's quite at the Saka level and whatnot, if that makes sense. So yeah, man. Timber wasn't going to start over White anyways. California will likely be the only change at left back. Gabriel and Ben White too. Ben White, big player, Ben White, but I wouldn't say untouchable. Integral to the system, 100% key players, vital players. But if certain offers are made, things could happen, man. But again, half of these players that I've spoken about, if you're not talking serious money, yeah, man. Forget Trossard. We need to shift Nketiah, Kivior, Ramsdale, Tini, and Nelson first. I agree with generally the sentiment. There's a whole bunch of players that need to be shifted out, man. And Trossard has that knack of, you know, scoring and doing things at vital moments. And throughout a season, you need that. Like, you need that. Trossard, when you look at the vast majority of our attackers, obviously, Saka is great. He's consistent. He's amazing. He's doing what he's doing. But he's still, quote-unquote, young. And so he's an exception to the rule. Martinelli, volatility there. Kai Havertz, we don't know if you can do it for a whole season, even though you've been doing your thing. Gabriel Jesus, lovely player. If worse comes to worse, good rotation option, but you can't stay fit. Can we really afford to be talking about selling people? And what sort of fee are you getting at Trossard? We know we're not making back the fee we had, but yeah, long story short, there's a lot of things I would do before Trossard is sold at this football club, man. I like him a lot. I think fans overrate a bit, but yeah. Eddie too busy barbecuing and interviewing with men in blazers. Just let the guy cook, man. Trossard is clutch. Trossard's a clutch player. Agreed. Cronkies want to see some sales first before we spend more. I hope so. Zinchenko, I can't stand him. He's a bad omen. Bit harsh, you know, because he's been part of a title challenge in the last 2 years. I don't know why people have a fetish for young players. It's weird. Not every young player gets better with age, and we shouldn't be a selling club anyways. Unpopular opinion, everybody wants to be everyone's a selling club, really and truly, you know. I know it's not the same, but City just made a handsome profit, or stand to make a handsome profit on whatever they bought, whatever they spent on Julian Alvarez. Got to be a selling club. I do agree with you that not every young player can make it, and not every young player has to make it. And sometimes people's stories are different. But yeah, Saka has the support of White and Odegaard. Martinelli doesn't get that kind of support as much. And that's why I'm happy that in theory, if you bring in Moreno, if you have Calafiori or Timber or Tomiyasu, someone that's going to provide some stability in games, we can get a relationship similar to on the right, on the left, and stop being lopsided. That being said, as one of Martinelli's biggest fans, still no excuse. You know, Saka is getting better and better with age, and you are right with Benjamin White, but he's performed for this team for a number of years where he's been playing with some bummy players. He's had Hector Bellerin behind him at times. So how far does that go? I think what could help Martinelli is starting to get your head up. But yeah, man. Saka, Declan, Odegaard, Saliba, I agree with that. Yeah, they're my absolutely untouchables. I've made peace with the fact that one day I see you guys Saliba for 100 odd million quid. Odegaard, you need to stay. I do think you might return to certain Spanish clubs one day. Declan, you're here for the long time. And Saka, if you leave, we riot, but things can happen, man. I mean, I hope to see Lewis Skelly get some minutes. I think he's done very well. But at the end of the day, the gaffer's probably sat there and he's thinking about the next few weeks now. Like next season is here. Big up yourself, Marcel. Hope you're doing well, part of the furniture. Some corruption going on at Atleti City. For sure, this game is now bent. I mean, let's be honest, even our club, man, like, I know I'm not trying to criticize the club, but because we like to talk about being gentlemen and all of this sort of stuff. Realistically, in the world of business, especially football, which I hate to refer to it as, are any of these guys clean? Are any of these guys not doing dirty bandulu stuff? Like, even, you know, if you go and look through the history of Arsenal with when we moved to certain places and not getting relegated, you know, we've always had our hands in stuff. And to be fair with you, when you actually go and look at how Atletico Madrid have saved wages and players they've sold, I thought the same, like, how they getting money for that? But then it actually makes sense. No coincidence, Zinni and Nelly's form dipped after Xhaka left. Yeah, football's about relationships. We had a relationship, but there's no coincidence. That season, Zinchenko's first year, that was probably the season where, for me anyways, in a long time, where we looked equally as threatening down the left and down the right. Away from that, even last season, for as good as we were, and obviously we've scored from the left-hand side and all that jazz, but we know if our right-hand side has an off day, we're in trouble. And also, to go back to your point and echo your point, what you said about Zinni and Nelly and Xhaka, Gabriel Jesus was pulling out there. Kai Havertz probably has a bias more to the right. But despite this, we need to get back with it, because next season, you know, teams for the last 2 years, teams are kind of not figuring out Arsenal, but naturally they're going to do their homework. They're going to defend a bit better at set pieces, for example. Atletico spent big on Thomas Lemar. They do throw money around on occasion. Yeah, I thank the Lord, because we almost ended up like that. Where the hell did Atletico get all this money from? I've never seen them splash cash like this in the transfer window. To be fair, though, João Felix cost a bit of money when they bought him. Thomas Lemar cost a bit of money. But I agree with Inner Circle, because, you know, I think Morata's a terrible goal scorer, a fantastic striker in the modern day. Like, there's a reason he plays for these top clubs. But anybody that's buyed Morata, I think you're a dodgy club. I think you're doing dodgy things, because he's a money laundering guy. That money got City all over it. Probably, man. But at what point do we cry or try to join them? I'm not saying it's right. But at what point, you know, do you have to get your hands dirty in order to live clean? Because we've been crying about FFP and fair and all of this stuff since Wenger was here at the Emirates, and even before that. You know, I'm only 29, but I remember people used to say Man United, not as exaggerated as much now in the modern day, but early 2000s, people used to say, and maybe even before that, Man United are ruining the game. They're spending bare money. They're doing this. They're doing that. So is it ever going to stop? And we all know Roman Abramovich was probably that one that kind of set it off. Sports washing. But untouchable for me, Odegaard, Saka, Saliba, Gabriel. If any of them four get injured or leave, it will affect our team. It will. I wouldn't throw Gabriel into that, because I just don't think he is. But in terms of being vital to our team, 100%, I agree. As I said, I think Saliba, Rice, Saka, and I think Odegaard, them lot are up there for me. And they're of the same level of importance, but just below them, Gabriel, the Benjamin White, these kind of players. Like, I think Gabriel's criminally underrated. You'll have seen me make numerous videos about it. And I do think him and Saliba complement each other well. I think he's got him out of trouble. And I do think Gabriel's, that Bozo gene tag has stuck for a while, even though up and down the country in the last 2 years, we've dealt with that. But mainly because Saliba just looks like one of those rare pickings. I think you can replace Gabriel, give or take. I think you can replace Benjamin White, give or take. I guess you could replace Saliba, but you get the point. We're gonna have to shop around France, and I'm happy we got Saliba beyond the obvious, because in a day and age where you've got Kante, Mbappe, Osman Dembele, all the new age French players, we missed out on a lot of them. So it's about time. Arsenal, well, definitely in my generation, as a 29-year-old, where we had a strong French tie, it's justice that he's here. And I know Wenger's not here anymore, but to see a French player doing his thing, to see former players in ranking positions from the academy to the first team, our academy, pumping players. We're still using London Coley, which Anelka's deal paid off. Wenger did a fucking lot, pardon my language, for this football club. And obviously himself, because let's be honest, like, it was a relationship of convenience. But shout out to Arsene Wenger, man. We're almost at 100 likes. Can we get there before kickoff? Where are we watching this, people, as well? DG, did you read the article talking about the tension between Arsenal and Newcastle board? Newcastle don't want to do business with us because of Arsenal's stance on PSR. I think that was in relation to Isaac, innit? I think we covered that. Naturally, there's going to be contempt. These lot are backed by oil states. Naturally, not just Arsenal. Arsenal, probably like Arsenal and half of the traditional top 4, top 6 clubs. Let's be honest, they want to keep... I do think everyone wants fair competition and stuff, but they want to keep the monopoly. Like, it's just like when Chelsea came about, no one wanted that. When City doing it, no one came about and wanted that. City are probably, when they, able to get over their stuff, they're not going to want people to do what they're doing, if I'm honest. DG, what you say? Smith Rowe stock stowed. What can I say, man? It's peak, man. It's absolutely peak. Well, yeah, he's left Arsenal. They're gone now, isn't it? I'll always follow him. I'm definitely going to watch Fulham a lot more than I would have. Any goal he scores, anything of significance, I'll be there to push agendas. But we lost that one. We lost, man. We lost. ALDG, is this at the Emirates? Yeah, it is. When Rooney and Ronaldo was at United at one point, people rated Rooney. Now you can't judge 22-year-olds now and think they'll be this level forever. Athletes spend big every 3-4 years. I think you mean Atletico. Who don't rate Gabriel? What the hell? The hell? One of Gabriel's biggest fans. It's cool to say that now, but this is why I like being on YouTube. You can see the paperwork, the playlist. Before we had a chant, who was saying he needs a chant? Been saying Gabriel's, it's like having two sons. Respectfully to Saliba. If Saliba makes a mistake, nobody really cares. Gabriel makes one, crucified. Gabriel has a good game, typically, not all the time and not so much now. Gabriel has a good game. Yeah, he had a good game. Saliba, rooftops. Saliba can pass a ball 5 yards. It's amazing. It's generational. People are glazing and aura and all of this. Gabriel does that. Yeah, it's all right. It's like having two sons. But unfortunately, we got them both here, man. Gabriel's criminally underrated, man. Criminally underrated. But, it's not... Whoever don't rate him, don't rate him. As long as Arteta does, and as long as he keeps putting in those performances, me personally, I couldn't give a monkeys. Just keep doing your job, Gabriel, man. Zubimendi thing, I think we need to give up on that. Don't know why the Moreno deal is taking so long. We don't know where we're at with that, really. It appears that, well, again, reports, everybody adds their own little things. I don't know what to make of it, because it's a thing where, on one hand, I think Arsenal, in fact, what I'm starting to believe now, and I don't have any inclination for this, but when you read a lot of the language, pardon me, it's the reports say things like Arsenal have they have a couple of other options. They're very confident. Mikel Arteta has spoken to Moreno, personal terms been indirectly agreed. So is it a thing where they've spoken to Sociedad, they know what Sociedad kind of want? We must have fairly decent communicational channels with them, owing to Tierney going on loan. We know what they want. We've parked that off, and we're saying, you know what, let's go and explore. I don't know if Fabi Ruiz or this or that or the third. I'm not too sure where we're at with that. But yeah, man, I want to see. I wanted to see a centre midfielder in, man. Pick up Calafiori. I'm not against it. I think we need a left back, but I'd prefer to have had Moreno in before and then still be talking about when the Calafiori deal's done. Because I'm very nervous about central midfield. Very nervous about central midfield. I think Jorginho picks up a lot of knocks. I love Jorginho, but he picks up a lot of knocks. I think when the game's like a classic Premier League game, the tempo's up and down, I think he struggles, even though he does well in the bigger games. Partey, you can't trust the man to stay fit. Anything happens to one or both of them, we're back to square one. And how much better would Declan Rice have been if he had a consistent partner? Now, I don't know if we sign Moreno, if he's first choice, if he's second choice, whatever he is. And I don't know if he'll be on the right or the left-hand side. You would imagine Declan Rice being right-footed tends to have a bias towards that right-hand side, Moreno on the left. So then maybe Declan Rice, has to be that kind of 8 on the other side. I don't know, really. But midfield needs to be sorted. Like I said, you look at our midfield. Who's really here for the long term? Declan Rice and Odegaard, cool. They are. What about the rest? Partey's not going to be here forever. Probably gone next summer. I don't even think Jorginho and Partey will both leave together next summer because their deals are running out. But Partey's probably cutting next summer. And for the last 2 years, the club's clearly been interested in listening to offers and none have yielded. Jorginho, it looked like he might actually leave this summer. He's staying. You get where I'm going with it. And again, I hate these people that go, oh, Moreno's 28, you can't play. Of course he can, but he's not exactly here for the long term. Of course, you could define what would you even say is long term? Because he's 28. You could very well be here 3-4 years. That would probably be defined as long term, surely. Rice and Odegaard deserve another starter in there. Help them out. Amen. You bring me Moreno. I don't think it's a blockbuster signing, but I think in terms of durability, he's more likely to play more of a significant part than Partey, assuming he gets injured. But, you've got Moreno and Rice and Odegaard. That's cool. I still think the first choice partnership or trio would be Thomas Partey, Declan Rice and Odegaard. I'm starting to think Partey will... hot take, but I'm starting to think Partey's on the bench first game of the season against Wolves. If I'm honest. Also, why is there this obsession with dual-winning midfielders? Rodri finished 10th in the Premier League list. I must admit, where you see tackles and duels won and things like that for individual players, there's a bias towards that because naturally City are going to be on the front foot a lot of the time in games, so they're going to make less. But you do need to win your duels in the modern day. Unfortunately, football isn't entertaining. It's not really. Of course, it's always going to be entertaining. It's always going to be tactical matchups and technical battles and whatnot, but football, the individuality is to a degree dead. Individuals make football never be dead, but it is dead. It's all a chess match. It's more like Pep Guardiola and Arteta. It's like they're literally playing real life FIFA with the players. It's not really something of that. You need to win your duels. Football's become more physical in my cap because early 2000 it was, but it's become a lot more of a physical battle in all aspects. It's not really about individuals. And you look at the traditional 10's dead. What traditional 10s are there? And if they are that or got elements of that, they can't only do that. Long gone are the day. Football's changed. Nobody really wants it, as much as I like a striker that can score goals. Nobody wants a striker that's just going to stand in the box. If your team's not on the front foot, you're playing with 10 men. You can't have a 10 of the Mesut Ozil ilk, respectfully to the majestic talent. So many things are dead in the game. It's more like athletes first and then the rest second. Like we're in a day and age where, and I'm a Sunday League fullback, so I'm here for this. Fullbacks are some of the most important players. Mikel Arteta, last couple seasons, brought in them. Zini inverting, Calafiori inverting, Benjamin White, one of the most important players. As much as I'm a Sunday League fullback, bro, when has football ever become about fullbacks? It's crazy. But I guess this is how the thing evolves, man. I don't even want to see Fabio waste the time. Come on, man. Have a bit more praise for our players. Barca need to make sales. Think we're looking at Rafinha and Frankie de Jong. You never know. I don't expect us to get Rafinha. Going to cost too much money, be on too big a wages. He's not like a Nico Williams or a Neto or even a Trossard in our squad where they can play well on the left and right. It seems like there's a lot of bias towards Rafinha on the right, and your second choice to Saka, so it's a bit of a myth. Frankie de Jong, I'm having him, and he's a good player and he takes our system up. And I can't really. I'm going to sound a bit mad for saying this. And I think he's a good lad, good role model. I just question if he's got the right mentality and the temperament. When the chips are down, is he gonna crumble as well for all his talent? I think he is one of those. I blame Pep for all the changes in football. Everyone just copies him. I hear that, but if I jump off a cliff and dead myself, and you jump off a cliff, and your mum comes and says, "Whose fault is it?" She can't blame me. You followed me. So yeah, man. Gabriel used to sweep up every time Saliba slipped up, he was there, and vice versa. And that's what football is about. Get your teammates out of trouble. That's what a good team does. It's a perfect combination, man. Not that there's been great defenders at the Emirates during the Emirates era and definitely great partnerships, but it's refreshing to have one of the best defensive duos in world football and in the Prem. I'm not saying they're the best, but you need those kind of formidable partnerships. Again, I do think Arsenal have a title-winning defence or title-winning defensive options. As they say, defence wins titles. You see all them, the metrics. But goals win games. And it sounds crazy for me to say because we scored 91 Premier League goals and over 100 in all comps. But I don't feel we have enough goals in our team. And it sounds mad. I think we've got the capacity to do it. But if we stop breaking it down and stuff like that, and we just answer who's going to get the goals, Bukayo Saka. And if Bukayo Saka has off-season, we're fucked. Love Gabriel Jesus, allergic to scoring and staying fit. Trossard, big player, but fluctuation in that regards. Havertz, second half of the season last year, quality on the goal scoring front. Really big signing in that regards. First half, don't know what happened there. Don't even know if you'll get double figures. I'm pretty confident you will, but I can't sit here and say it's 100%. Martinelli, the last 2 seasons have been very contrasting. And if I'm missing their names out, because we do have a couple of more attackers than I've said, they're not good. Like Nelson, it's not serious. I love Reece Nelson, but you're not serious. You're not serious. Even if Ethan comes in and he gets minutes, as much as you want to see him play as an 8 or a 10, he gets little minutes out wide. Can't put no pressure on him realistically like that. Eddie Nketiah, for me, I think Eddie Nketiah, I don't think he's good enough, but I think some fans are too harsh on him. He has scored some vital goals, and there's been some games where he's done well without necessarily scoring. Not levels, let's be honest. Not levels. So how far are we going to go with what we're doing now and expect to get to that? And something's got to give. I guess what I'm getting at. Remember, Arsenal fans wanted Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Morgan Gibbs. All I'm saying, Morgan Gibbs White ain't bad. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, forget about it. You know what? I'd take Ollie Watkins, but we can forget about that, innit? Everyone's saying Neto, you barely see him be injured half the season. That's the issue. Havertz in the midfield spot is not good. DG, do you think we can beat Pep at his own game with our style of play? Because all other wins against Pep play completely different. It's going to sound cliche and maybe a bit of a cop-out, but I think you need to match Pep. But also, I think you need to match Pep. But I also think you got to be fearless in that regards. Kind of like how we got it done at the Emirates, really. But the main thing is belief. I think Odegaard takes too much responsibility in every phase. This guy needs help in midfield. But Odegaard, if he's not having to lead the press, dropping a lot deeper, we saw last season. I'd love to see Odegaard in the 8, but I don't think that's what the gaffer wants. And then you put him in the 8. Who the hell is the 10? I think you would rob Odegaard of maybe some goals and assists, but you give the team greater impetus. And for me, I must admit, I was watching Santi Cazorla videos today. If we could just, even a half-fit Santi Cazorla, the one that was always getting surgery, if we had, one does wonder, and I know you can't do this, but if we had a fit Alexis, there's a couple of players during the Emirates era I'd love in this current squad, and one would be Alexis Sanchez for obvious reasons in his prime at this club. And then I would also say Santi Cazorla. I mean, you could say Cesc Fabregas and all of that, but let's kind of ignore the early Emirates era. You know what? And it's a left field choice. I'm going to say Nacho Monreal, you know. I don't know why. I just think Nacho Monreal. Good morning to you, co-host of this. Another day of... Why is this gone? Another day of live football matchup for the boys from Team Arsenal. Bless up to you as well, man. Appreciate the kind messages. And shout out to all the families of Arsenal fans around the world. De Jong is washed. Don't think he'll ever live up to his Ajax days. It's not an ACL for Timber. It's just a foot injury. He's coming off an ACL injury. Santi was something else. He was a player that excited me in bad times. And I look at, beyond the obvious, but you look at Santi Cazorla and then you look at Fabio Vieira and like, what's going on? Because Santi weren't big, but he didn't get thrown around. So I don't know what Fabio Vieira needs to do, but you need to do something. Timber out and on through the air. What? Will be out and on through it. Yeah, not sure what you're saying there, Ben. Fabio right wing, Arteta forcing it. It's just a minutes thing, man. It's just a minutes thing. Obviously, fans will huff and puff if we lose and the game isn't nice to watch, but it's a minutes thing. Just about putting minutes in the legs here. And I'm not saying that as a cop-out. That's just genuinely what I believe. Seeing that ankle injury that De Jong got once puts me off, to be fair. It looks really bad. Fabio Vieira be getting the dashed about. He's lightweight. And that's the thing, Marcel. Like, there's something likable. I don't know why, but there's something I like about Fabio Vieira. Even if you're just going to be a squad player, there's something likable about you, but you're versatile, even though I'm really not with this right wing stuff. I don't feel you're one of those wide playmakers of the Phil Fodens, of the Cole Palmers, them like even Bernardo Silva. I don't think you're like that. Realistically, you're not going to play as a 10. Odegaard is there. I don't think Arteta is wholeheartedly convinced on you in that 8 role on a consistent basis, or you might have been given a run there. I don't know where we're at with Fabio. All I know is if this time next year, if we're still saying the same things about Fabio, then you got to look at the next steps, man. Santi was low-key bottom heavy, pause. I'll be real, pause. In football, you have to use your bum. Again, pause. Look at Paul Pogba. Look at Messi. Messi does it well. Sterling was a bit mad with it, but you have to. How the best footballers with the best close control, they do that. Iniesta did it. Xavi did it. Some more exaggerated than others, but yeah. Pep played Zinni at left back because of men's situation. Arsenal buy him and playing him at left back. He's not a defender. I don't think it was entirely because of that. I think he was playing that fullback way before that guy had his stuff. But yeah, Klopp said it best: when playing City, be brave and leave no regrets. That's it. I think it's more of a psychological thing. You know, like you look at, even though one of the hardest games, I think, where Newcastle looked, where City looked under the ropes. Newcastle last season, I think Oscar Bob ultimately came on and won the game, but they stressed them out. The most humble I've ever seen City away from Arsenal would probably be, I don't even remember the score, but Liverpool played City at Anfield. And it looked like that's the first time in a while I've seen City go, you know what, we're taking a point, we're keeping it moving. It's a psychological thing. As great as City are, but when you look at the City sides, the Klopp sides that won 2 things, the Arsenal sides that have won stuff, the United sides, how many of those games were probably, and even to this day, how many of those games were probably won before a ball was kicked? How many, like, if Arsenal, I don't know, if Arsenal were playing Ipswich and this Invincibles era, even though that weren't a thing, how long before we actually played was that game won? Like, because the Ipswich players, for this example, probably sitting there going, you know, oh, bloody hell, we've got Arsenal this week. It's done. In the tunnel, you hear people chanting, it's done. And to be fair, when teams play a team like City, I always wonder, like, do people raise their performances? Because it's like a free hit. We can be fearless. We can really test ourselves and see how good I am. For instance, if I'm a winger of a mid-table Premier League team and I'm playing, you know, a fullback at City, you're probably going to be one of the best in the league. If I can have a decent game against you, I have a true reflection maybe of where I'm at. Or does it go negatively and say, not that we don't care or we don't want to try, but if we lose, it is what it is sort of thing. I'm not too sure, man. Timber ain't got no ACL. There were too many incidences last season where corners got us out of trouble. We need more goals from open play. Amen. We need a lot more goals from open play, really. When you actually break down the way we scored and how we scored and who scored the goals, I don't think goal scoring is a problem, but we're not out of the woods yet in that regards. Good questions, man. Do you think we created enough quality chances for our strikers to bury at a decent rate last season? I literally think probably from August of last year until the December period, while we was talking about a striker, I think creating chances, much less converting them, was an issue. I don't know what Arteta did, but something happened, something changed. And then it was like literally an issue creating goals. And I look at Liverpool in the FA Cup, definitely West Ham at the Emirates, probably Aston Villa in that first half at the Emirates. Not so many in terms of chances created, but in terms of being clinical, the first half against Spurs at the Emirates should be killing these games, man. Should be killing these games. Shooting ourselves in the foot. Like, we could very well have a strike and we still say these things, but gamer averages, we ain't signing. We ain't signing. Not sure, but have faith, man. Left backs and right backs will be failed midfielders. I'm sorry, people just scratching my face. Don't abuse us. Anyone from Real Sociedad range from quality to baller, underappreciated / underrated La Liga club. They know how to develop players. I don't think they're underrated anymore because everyone wants to poach their players. You know, didn't Atletico Madrid, I'm sure they bought the centre-half, man. He's French, but he plays for Spain. Lenormand, obviously. Moreno could be cut in. Zubimendi's been linked with Liverpool. I won't call him Spliffro anymore. Hey, you're a bad guy, man. An absolute bad guy. Absolute bad guy. Some club will offer Saliba 700 grand a week and he'll be gone in 2 years max. I've made peace with Saliba actually going to Madrid and them kind of clubs, if I'm honest. Banter aside, I think Smith Rowe will cook at Fulham. Needs to stay fit. Under a good manager, Marco Silva, quality signing for them. All the best. I'll drop my agendas now because he don't play for us anymore. I'll drop my Fabio Carvalho agendas when he cuts, man. Ethan could have a breakout like Maino this season. Maybe not as much minutes, but I can see it. I hope he does, man. I hope he does. I hope he does. Need to expose him to more minutes without any real sense of pressure on him. Deluded, we should keep Saliba and not have to replace him in a long time and let him be a legend at our club. For him to achieve that, we need to start winning big trophies. He's got one career, man. And although he's an Arsenal fan, and I don't think we have anything to worry about at this moment in time. Our footballer's career is very short, man. It's very short. And as much as I think Saliba is a quality player and the project is shifted now, it's quote unquote easy to sell these the carrots when they're in the early to mid 20s and they're developing at the same rate the manager is and the club is and whatnot. If you like, for instance, if Saka, Saliba, Odegaard, maybe even Declan Rice, if they were of the age range of a Jorginho, of a Thomas Partey, of a maybe even a Gabriel Jesus, would they be so itching to sign long-term deals at the club? You got one career, man. And even if they did stay at the club and become legends and won trophies, but not necessarily everything they wanted in their career, realistically, not just Arsenal, but what are these clubs going to give these lot apart from a pat on the back, a testimonial, and thanks for the memories? Football's a dirty game. Yeah, their mid and low blocks were tough to break down in play because we didn't have a game-changing penetration carrier or killer playmaker. We found the money for California and got most of that back from the Smith Rowe sale. Looks like we can't decide who to bring into me. And that's probably the case, man. As I said earlier, I think with the Moreno thing, I think is not that it's done, but I think we there's relative confidence we can get that done. Maybe we're scouting the market to see if anything else is happening, but I don't care how they do it. And I don't really care who, I'm prepared to have conversations about whoever this centre mid is who comes in. But crucially, they need to sign for the club, man. We didn't have players that got into the pen box to convert. Jesus was just coming in too deep. Sometimes Nketiah was not hustling defenders consistently. That's true, but you go and watch half of those games. There was like the Liverpool game in the FA Cup, million chances created. West Ham, million chances created. And obviously, football's a law of averages. The more chances you create, the more shots you have. 9 times out of 10, you're going to score more. But there's some games where you just need a clinical man. And I think had we have had that, we got more points on the board. There's something very different we're talking about last season. Aston Villa sold Diaby. That's crazy. Can you blame him? Only a season, but yeah, man. It's doing a madness. DG, seen the work you've been doing about scouting, man. You are working more than Mr. Barbecue Master. What is that man doing the whole summer? Give him time, man. Give him time, man. Deluded. Also be interesting to see how Amari Hutchinson will do at Ipswich. We sold him to Chelsea, then they sold him to Ipswich. I think it worked out for Amari, if I'm completely honest. People can say you joined Chelsea for the money and you never got an opportunity. By the end of the day, probably did get paid a lot more money, which fair enough. I mean, everyone needs money to live. Ultimately, you've probably played more Premier League. In fact, you have played more Premier League minutes for Chelsea than you have Arsenal. Whatever their development plan was for you to go on loan and whatever, it's put you into a stage now where off the back of a great championship loan, you've gone into a Premier League. Would this have all been the case at Arsenal? I'm not sure. Charlie Patino, Brooke Norton, Coffey, forgotten men, didn't go America. Not really had those kind of loans. Probably will leave the club. Have to see, man. Cini is too slow to play left back and Trossard is too slow to be a winger. All these problems on the left. Bit harsh, of 2 international footballers to say that. So, yeah. I'm going to go watch some of DG's old videos that he made about Zubimendi. I'm not going to lie to you. If he signs for Liverpool, they're all getting fingied, man. They're all getting brought down. Because he's a snake. Smashed the like. There's over 300 of you on YouTube, people, and you still haven't hit the like button. 1 second, folks. We need to put this charger in on this laptop. He's a snake. And I'd wonder what if Liverpool told him for him to stay. Man said stay. For him to sign for you, lot. Because it just felt like he wants to stay in Spain. If they get him agendas. It's cool, though. He'll lose the ball when Odegaard and all these players are on them at Anfield. I'm not going to lie to you, Marcel. This is the year we do it at Anfield. I'm screaming Arsenal winning at Anfield in the Premier League. By all means, get on to me. This is the year we're going to do it. We're going to do it. We have a growth mindset. We proved it the past 4 years. It's just the final pieces need to be added. Amen. This is the last... No, Forest last year. What do you mean? This is the last 2 years are the only times I feel this club has somewhat delivered on some sort of promise or not even a promise. They've kind of, when they're talking about aspiring to be one of the best teams in the world and whatnot, this is the first period I've seen it. Fair enough. First couple of years at the Emirates, we just simply needed to pay off money. I have to remove that on screen, people, because it's time for me to find the link for this. Reddit soccer streams. Let's try that one first. Let's try that one. Keep your opinions coming. You lot are in top form, whatever platforms you lot are on, people. It's a bit weird now. Football's back. We're probably going to watch the Olympic football final together, people, on Friday. We're definitely watching the Community Shield on Saturday. We're back together where us Arsenal fans are concerned on Sunday. And next week, football's back. We will watch the opening game of the Premier League on Friday. I have to say it now, early doors, folks. Arsenal versus Wolves, I won't be doing a watch along, but their normal service resumes. So we'll be back. Yeah, actually find this. Let's make sure this is muted because we don't need any copyright claims on my platform. Come on. All right, we can work with this. Big up Adrian Clark. So yeah, people, let me share this link. In fact, you lot try that one. Should have posted it. Somebody asked about the new channel. I've posted the second channel as well. Let me actually do that again. Shameless. Big up to the 113 of you who haven't even released content on it. Bud said gal before football. No. No. Where you watching it, I just dropped the link. American Gun, I just dropped a link. Hopefully that one works. Again, you got links and all that good stuff. Share it out. The boys are on the field at this moment in time. I must admit, the pre-match jersey looks amazing. Unlike our away shirt. Adidas, we finally missed. Let's be honest. Let's be absolutely honest, Arsenal fans. They finally missed. They haven't missed in how many years have we technically been with Adidas now? However long. We've got 142 likes on YouTube. Can we get to 200 for the end of the stream? Twitch gang, you're always in perfect form. Ayamenya, just seen that as well from the other day where you raided the platform. If you got Amazon Prime, utilize that. Come on, Zinni. I'm back, Zinni. Do I think Zinchenko is frustrating to watch? Do I want to see him on a consistent basis? Nope. Do I see him as a liability at fullback? 1,000,000%. But he's our boy and he's a fullback at the end of the day. So I'll always back him in. It's a bit mad that we have these general... Kivior is on the bench. I don't know why his name weren't there at the start. It's a bit mad how we're having these thoughts. And we're not wrong about Kivior, about Zinchenko, but he's a serial Premier League winner. But... been hearing final pieces needed to be added for 20th in years. I understand it. Apparently, Timber's being left out as a pure precaution. People who watch without hitting the likes of the real snakes, get onto them again, man. But I know some of you probably watch me without actually having a YouTube account. Moreno suits our system more than Zubamendi. If Jorginho can suit our system, then he can. I think the only thing that tips the balance is Moreno's left-footed, isn't it? So naturally, he's got a bias towards that way. You got two right-footers. I think we do too much about that. Be interesting to see what Leverkusen have, man. You know, you got Hincapie, who Arsenal, the Athletic said we was interested in if the California thing didn't happen. We all know how good Havertz is. We all know about Granit Xhaka. Where's that guy? Where's Jeremy Frimpong? I haven't forgotten the comments you made about Arsenal. So if you are on this field or play any minutes, friendly or not, first 50-50, please let him know you're there. Oh, I've missed this huddle. I've missed this at the Emirates, lads. We're finally back, man. That Leverkusen pivot. Teller is from our academy, and it shows how funny football is, man. Got released. Somehow has ended up about to play Champions League football. Champions League football has won a Bundesliga. It's laughing. At some point, Teller, Harry Kane, Andy Cole were all part of Arsenal's academy. And it's not just Arsenal. People fumble a lot. Man's hitting the copium. Don't mind him. Oh, man. I don't wish injuries on anyone, but Arsenal had almost an injury-free season last season. I wonder how you deal with Rice, Odegaard, or Saka injury. To be honest, injuries to Rice, boy, we're in trouble because him and Partey probably be injured at the same time. Saka, that's a heavy chunk of goals gone, even though he was injured here and there. Odegaard, it's like the link in it, really and truly. You miss a lot in terms of the pressing. Odegaard's the nucleus of the team. You miss a lot. And who the hell is going to play 10? Do you go with the young Ethan? Do you put Fabio there? The game's kicked off, by the way, folks. I personally think he would slap Kai Havertz there just purely because Havertz is the closest thing we've got to Odegaard off the ball. Definitely not on it. Ball into the box early doors. I don't mind that. Trossard. Let's go. Trossard, I mean, he's looked a bit so-so during the preseason tour so far. I think he looked good off the bench against Liverpool. Other than that, it was a bit so-so. He stunk up the Euros. get back to your form at the beginning of the season. I've missed us. Leverkusen's goalie's found Tat Sober, I believe, who once upon a time was actually linked with Arsenal. Is that the correct link? Let me try again. We only had 2 fit centre mids and no left back for a lot of last season. Eddie Nketiah has been the only consistently fit striker for 2 years. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Someone clamped Frimpong. I hear it. Basically, a minute in, folks. Not too much to speak about. The game needs to calm down. I'm not going to lie, I thought Gabriel fouled his man. Florian Wirtz skips past Jorginho. Ooh, Leverkusen could be on the attack here. Not when Benjamin White's on the scene. David Raya. Put a bit of a poor pass to Benjamin White, in all honesty. Killed him, really, but I don't mind that. Get the mistakes and the cobwebs out early doors. Adidas are testing us. They want to know if we're still buying the kit, even if it's garbage. Stay strong, Gooners. I mean, football fans, it's probably the best business, really and truly. Like, again, I don't want to sound dark, but beyond like owning a funeral parlor because people always going to die, you know, doing a trade, after you get through things, selling water, things that are necessities, football's probably got to be one of the best businesses to get into, purely because football isn't logical, you know. It isn't logical. The support that we have for clubs is not logical. In any other aspect of life, it isn't logical. I mean, a regular theme is Gabriel Jesus chasing down goalies, and he's done exactly that. It's a throw-in for Leverkusen deep in their half. Hi, DG. Is the game on TV outside the UK? It should be. Not a clue, if I'm honest. DG, which striker would you sign? Honestly, I don't have a clue where the striker's concerned, man. I do like Gyökeres. I do like Osimhen. If it was up to me, boy, do what you can and go and get Isaac, innit? But Jesus is awake. I need him to get 15 league goals, man. My channel is on the line. I don't know who sent me to go and start saying those claims that I was making, but here we are. Jorginho, he's looked a bit sloppy in the first 2.5 minutes, if I'm honest. And here go Leverkusen down this right-hand side. Granit Xhaka. Wirtz, baller, man, absolutely. Havertz, get him. Havertz and Trossard can't quite get there. Florian Wirtz, surely he's got to be the next one that goes to the Barca's, the Madrids, the Bayern Munich even, really. Bayern, you need to go and get him. Wirtz. You know he's a baller. You have to be a baller to get away with that Barnet, that blonde hair that he's got. Havertz is physical, but lacks pace in both speed and man. I just think Havertz is good at all the fundamentals and the basic things coaches want. Do you think he's an intelligent player? But on the ball, he's horrible. Inner Circles just dropped a link if you're looking at that, people. Saliba. Lovely pass. Zinchenko, lovely first touch. Well in, Zinni. Poor pass into Kai Havertz. But it's an even worse one from a Leverkusen lad. Odegaard sweeps up. Trossard, don't lose it, please. Don't lose it, Trossard, please. Doing too much, Trossard. That's ours, ref. Thank you. Throw into Arsenal. Come on, boys. Tranquillo. With a bit of rapido. I need you to wake up, Jorginho, if I'm honest with you. Get those cobwebs out. You lost the ball very cheaply. You're very good at keeping the ball. I'm not expecting too much in terms of build-up play. Obviously, we all know what our midfield is. Kai Havertz down this left-hand side. You kind of want... You want Kai Havertz in the box. He's found Zinchenko. We're definitely not crossing. Jorginho. Gabriel palms it off to his centre-half colleague, Saliba. Gives it back to him. They missed each other, innit? Gabriel gives it back to Saliba. I hear it. How deep Odegaard is. Kai's basically on the left-hand side. Like, this is... Kai Havertz, we want you to make those darting runs into the box. Martin Odegaard, look how deep he is. The nucleus of our team, the conductor. The most enjoyable player, in my opinion. For 90 minutes, if they're all on song, Odegaard's the most enjoyable player at Arsenal for me. Obviously, him and Saka are probably close first. Fabio Vieira. Oh, Fabio Vieira killed Jorginho with that one. I hope we win it, man. Havertz is the box manager. Kai is very smart for sure, but he drags down the place because he's not fast in his decision-making. Not that kind of guy, yeah. I think his best position is a false nine, if I'm brutally honest. Where he can get involved, but you're not necessarily involved. I think where you kind of have to use him with build-up and whatnot when he's playing in midfield, it's like playing with a less man. Because then you're kind of having to over-leverage other aspects of your team. TG, don't forget, not only City, we have to worry about winning the Prem, but also Liverpool. Don't worry about everyone. End of the day, Arsenal win their games. You get yourself in a conversation. No one's going to give you 3 points. He reminds me of a younger Odegaard, a little less technical, but less one-footed. I was with you with that until that. Oh, sorry, you're saying 2 different things. Speaking of Gabriel, you liking our linking with Odegaard, you liking our linking with the Gabriel lad. Gabriel Carvalho. I only seen him on YouTube, the 16-year-old. If you're talking about him, I only seen him on YouTube. Can't really have an informed opinion. I mean, if the club in theory is going to put 25 odd million quid down on a 16-year-old, he's got to be decent, but I don't really buy those rumors. Because have we got 25 million going spare before we talk about all the things we have to do immediately and outgoings? Fabio Vieira trying to beat Hincapie in the air there. It wasn't going to happen. Benjamin White, that's ours, ref. Bit of a scrappy start to the game in its opening 6 or so minutes. And plus also him being 16. At the earliest, you can join us at 18. Ooh, he read Benjamin White's throw very well then. It's back here with Leverkusen. Xhaka hooks it clear. I mean, we've got Leverkusen pinned in their own half, and it should be an interesting game. Xabi Alonso against Arteta. It'd be very different if we met in the champs, but yeah, nothing really to scream and shout about. David Raya, the last time I saw you this far out, was against Bayern Munich. Jorginho, that's the Jorginho I know. Gabriel Jesus. But this is the thing, man. We're so good in the middle and defensive third. Once we get into the final third, like chance creation on a consistent basis. Zinchenko. To be fair, Leverkusen are very well coached off the ball. It's going to take a while to break them down. Trossard. Zinchenko. Like his black boots, if I'm honest. Wonder what brand they are. I can't really tell on the stream. Saliba. Yeah, it'd be nice to. I don't want to sound too premature. It'd be nice to see Thomas Partey in the second half. Kai Havertz. This has to be 1-0. Zinni. Yes! All of you lot that was chatting nonsense about my fullback. We don't talk too much. We don't defend either. Number 17, Alexis Sanchez Powers. Hey. We're not scared of no Tomiyasu Californian team, but we like competition. I don't know about that. Zinni. Lovely build-up play. Lovely build-up play. Lovely build-up play. Lovely build-up play from everybody. And just like against Liverpool, it all come down our left-hand side. Zinchenko's actually played the pass. Kai Havertz has knocked it back. Trossard has shown great awareness to dummy it. And it's a great shot for Zinchenko. Unfortunately, the sun isn't always going to be shining at the Emirates. And we're not always going to have the vast majority of possession. But when we are, Zinni, you can get minutes. Big up Kai Havertz, because although you kind of cripple us in terms of build-up play, running in behind, that's your bag. So, yeah, Arsenal have taken the lead, folks. We'll have that. We'll have that. We'll have that. They talk on Zinni, see? Fullback union. I'll be slagging you off when you make a mistake. I'm not perfect, 100%. Talk on Zinni now. Wait, finally off to the races there. Oh, high pressing. Oi, Trossard. Oi, boys. Odegaard, come. Slap that in. Jesus. Kai Havertz. Trossardinho. Oi! Yes! Blink and you miss it. Just like buses and trains. You're waiting and then 2 come at the same time. Lovely. Put on a show for the fans that have attended. Lovely. This ain't Bundesliga. Don't do that high press around us. It's not safe. I mean, playing out from the back. Our high press isn't safe. It's not safe. Shout out to Trossard, Gabriel Jesus, Martin Odegaard, and great composure from Mr. Leandro. Ooh, Hincapie, why are you sliding in? You still sliding? Boy, very casual. Florian Wirtz, no one cares about your Wonder Kid stuff here, mate. Arsenal 2. Leverkusen 0. Don't write them off, though. They're not out of it yet. 2-0's a dangerous lead. Don't mind that. Lovely. Lovely from us there. Come on, boys. Keep going. That's Kai in his bag, man. Running in behind, doing all that stuff. You kill Kai if you're looking at him to do stuff in the middle third of the pitch, beyond trying to win the ball back and put in the shift. Florian Wirtz, he's a player, in it. Benjamin White don't care about that. And hooks it clear. Leverkusen on the ball. To be fair, Jonathan Tah has been linked with Manchester United and also Bayern Munich. Surprised he's still at Leverkusen this year, to be fair. Seemed like he was gone. Furthest I've seen Leverkusen players at Hincapie, who we should know all about if we tried to scout him. That's a horrible cross and probably not going to be on the Wii Scout, is it? Got to hit up the streams, man. Got to hit up the streams. I'm not going to lie. I do want to see Saka. But I don't want to see Saka today, you know. You know what, you Declan Rice. I want to see Partey, but I don't want to at the same time. So yeah, man, doing Alexis proud. I think Jorginho has experience. I don't think he's got the legs. Exactly. You can utilize Jorginho in the squad, but I think you're killing him if you're overplaying him. Doing what needs to be done, man. Man said he just tuned in. Not gonna lie, Leverkusen are gonna get exposed in the Champions League next season. But hey, let's get at them. Certain former Arsenal players said this was a step up, and to be fair, he wasn't invincible. Zinny, come on, Zinny, you're ruining it. Ref, is that how long free kick? Silly foul there. Granit Xhaka, I need to hear this talking, man. You was doing a lot of chatting. It's all love, Granit. And I'm trying to rate notes. Why isn't my Face ID working? Am I that ugly? Zinchenko back to David Ram. You know, Arteta, you're harsh in it. Could have let Ramsdale get some minutes. Benjamin White. So when we do a review of this game, just don't want to forget. What was I going to say? Havertz dangerous, running in behind. 2 assists. Silly Rocket. Press for the second goal. I'm a bit of a football nerd, as you know, but the press for the second goal is what I'm preseason or not. That's what impresses me. Fabio Vieira, switcher play. Come on, Fabio, get in your. Come on, wake up a bit. You're not doing bad, but you can do much better. Trossard, what's he doing there? It's not the worst of ideas. Unfortunately, it's hooked clear. Saliba, get there. Verts don't want it. Easy. Martin Wondergaard, nucleus of the team. Let's write that down. This guy is. You lose Martin Odegaard, we'd be in trouble, man. And signed for 30 odd million quid. We were very lucky. Why isn't this working? Still need a left 8 for me. But we can deal with this. There's a nerd. New season and as deluded as ever. Aye, as long as they talking, man. Hated adored but never ignored. You love me, really, if you've been saying a new season. You love me, really. 13 minutes into this, people. We're winning 2-0. Our kits are still clean. Let's keep going. 4-0 at halftime. Steady. Yo, what's good, people? I'm late. Who scored the 2 goals? Trossard and Zinchenko. Rocket from Zinchenko got things kicking off and he pressed high. To the point where now Leverkusen aren't taking risks, they're getting long. And Trossard eventually pull it in. And don't let me downplay Trossard's finish. Someone tried to be a hero and slide in. He absolutely chopped them. Long ball forward by Leverkusen. Come on, boys. Saliba gets his head to it. Second, Jorginho. Ooh, that was a bit of a high boot. Fabio Vieira, Odegaard. Lovely. Kai, get us out of there. Lovely. Trossard, protect it, please. Do him, Trossard. He don't want it. Trossard, I don't know what you was doing there. You're bugging. And he's giving Trossard of all people's giving it away cheaply, and he's tried to make the foul. Ref plays advantage. That was silly, Trossard, wasn't it? You're better. You're way better than that. Granit Xhaka, ain't seen him all game. Verts. Arteta for next summer. Can we get Verts? Tatsoba. Again, Leverkusen creeping higher up the field. Naturally, the 2-0 down. They're going to do that. Granit. It's been interesting, like Granit on the right-hand side a lot of the time in this game. I'm not quite used to that, obviously, through watching him for a number of years at the Emirates. I bet Arteta went strong to get a convincing win to gas the fans and stop asking players to sign. Not quite sure that's how it works, but fair enough. Oh, Corey. No worries, man. It's hard to tell the context on YouTube, but that's why I didn't take it personally. I'm glad you made that comment about what would happen if we lose Odegaard. No podcaster is talking about it. No one pays attention to the amount of minutes he puts in year after year. No, I do think some people mention it, but I think in terms of what they do off the ball, I think Odegaard's contribution to this team can't be stated enough. He's got so much. Him and Benjamin, everyone's got a complicated role, but him and Benjamin White's in particular, or the inverted roles, but I would say Benjamin White and Odegaard, they've got so much to do. Fabio Vieira's giving it away cheap. I mean, we all know he's not a winger, but can we see a bit more? Yes, Ethan is on the bench, man. He is. Going to the Lyon game still. Hopefully, I get to see Calafiori debut. Hopefully, man. And that's the last game before showtime. Appreciate you, Jay. Zini and Trossard with the goals. Next season, the last game we have is Southampton. A trip to St. Mary's as an Arsenal fan is one that, you know, even the most optimistic of Arsenal fans, if you naturally feel a bit nervous going there. What he said was right in technicality, but we know Xhaka has the mindset, the best player in the world. Banter aside, Xhaka said nothing wrong. You don't want to hear it. And to be fair, I haven't seen the whole interview. You know how the world works. People, you might be talking for a whole hour. People take 3 sentences out of context, put that online. It starts trending, especially in an industry like football where people in their feelings and emotional. But if Xhaka did think that, Leverkusen can't talk to Arsenal Football Club. But at the end of the day, he went back to Germany where he's been at before. Had an opportunity to win 3 trophies, won 2, including being invincible. I know if I'm Xhaka, especially at my age, what I'm going to be waffling about to my grandkids in 20 years. I'm not necessarily going to talk about the pressure I put on City and how we finished second. And that's not me trying to be disingenuous. That's just the cold-hearted truth. Like, no one's going to care about that. Long ball forward from us didn't come to anything. Jesus looked sharp, but we're used to Jesus looking sharp. I would love for him to score. I think he needs to go more than anyone, man, especially after I'm sure it was the Liverpool game. You should have put a couple on. Granit Xhaka to Havertz. Again, I can't be the only one weirded out with Xhaka on this right-hand side. I wonder if Arteta's got ideas if Moreno signs to put a left foot on the right-hand side. We just haven't been able to nick the ball back here. Granit Xhaka on the ball again. Havertz and Xhaka are getting on it a lot. Trossard's intercepted. He's alone, boys. Support him. Trossard, get your head up. Come on, boys. Can we make this count? To be fair, Leverkusen have got bodies back. Trossard. Odegaard's on the edge of the area, lad. Odegaard, hit it. Hit it. It's blocked. Jorginho, come on. Lovely, uncle. Zinchenko. Back to Trossard. This is the Trossard I want to see. Forget that Trossard that was playing for Belgium at the Euros. Gabriel, Jorginho, Saliba. Come on, boys. Can we get one more before half-time? Feels like one of those weird games where time is going so slow. It's only been 17-odd minutes, 18-odd minutes into the game. Going very, very slow. Well. Benjamin White. Don't lose it, Fabio. That's not a foul. Hey, he did get a foul for that. Maybe Hincapie did foul him. I thought it was a soft one, but I'll have that. Come on, Fabio. Get up, man. You're tougher than that, man. Unless you're genuinely hurt. Let's see that again. Oh, yeah, to be fair, he has trod on him. I don't think there was any intention. Bad malice or bad intentions there, but yeah, that definitely hurt. 100% that hurt. Big up yourself, my dude. You got any links to watch the game? I should do. Let me see if I have to copy and paste it again. Nope, it's here. There you go. DG, what are you going to be remembered for playing for Arsenal Football Club or playing for Leverkusen? Your kids are going to ask you what it's like playing for Arsenal. 100%. But you've played for both. You won trophies for both. But you won a league title. How many footballers that play in leagues year in, year out, or play in a Champs or an FA Cup, or some that play in these competitions for years, how many actually win it? I think that's an emotional response. You can say you play for both. You're a title winner, essentially. And at the same time, as much as we're talking about what you tell your grandkids, in life, you have to be selfish, you know. You got one career, Granit. So if he, which he obviously did, felt that it was the right decision to make, go do it. Biggest thing I would say I'm happy about the Xhaka situation is that he left in a lot more classy way for all parties concerned than when he was actually going to leave, which obviously coincided with when Arteta actually took the reins at the club. Trossard gives it to Odegaard. Odegaard's here, there, and everywhere, man. Lovely Odegaard. He's found Trossard. I have liked the movement off the ball. Trossard, come on, head up, please. This has to be a third. They don't want Odegaard to shine. They don't want the class region to shine because Leverkusen's defending is quite terrible. Whenever Odegaard is purring in that box, it seems like there's someone there to block him. And that's another note I can make. Does my phone know that this is still my face? Like, why isn't it working? Lovely off the ball movements. Diversity and runs. I have liked that within this first 20 odd minutes. I have liked the runs we've been making. I have. We've got a corner. Come on, man. I've been itching to see us score from a set piece. Ref got hands all over Gabriel. Maybe if he cut his dreads, he would see where the player is. Trossard's getting pushed as well, friendly or not. What's this about? And I haven't yet to see Benjamin White, but he's probably in the box annoying and antagonizing the keeper. Oh, he's not. Must actually be a friendly. Come on, Fabio. Decent delivery. You got all day to practice these things. Puts his hand up. Deliver, Fabs. It's not a bad ball at all. Keeper's punched it. Not a decent one, Fabio Vieira. Not a bad ball into that box at all. I'm sure this goalie, Culver, I'm sure you used to play for Man United. I could be wrong. I could be lying about this. You're not their first choice keeper, are you? He must be 24 years of age. Yeah, he was at Man United. He actually left in 2023. See? Encyclopedia up here, mate. Knew I saw you somewhere. Expensive, useless gadget, Jesus, but he's wavy. I was late to the game. How has Arteta deployed the lads for this game? Same old, really. Obviously, Kai Havertz is more running in behind, and I think we're relying on Odegaard to kind of be that progressor a bit more. But the normal things we're accustomed to watching at the Emirates. Trossard's corners, for someone of his ability, that's terrible, really. And we still have the ball, but yeah. How were these guys invincible? To be fair, they deserved it. Whatever it was. It's pre-season, isn't it? But I'm here for the agendas. Ooh, Big Gabriel's absolutely sliced his man. Pre-season or not, that definitely hurt. That definitely hurt. Good foul to make, though. You reckon we'll grab Ivan Toney in the Jan window on the cheap? Probably not. Feels like Ivan Toney's a very durable deal, him being into the last year of his deal. And again, what's being reported in, he absolutely chopped Xhaka. What's reported in the world of football and what's actually going on is completely different things. But it feels like Ivan Toney, out of all the Osimhens, the Seskos, the Yokerezes, all these strikers, he's the easiest one. He's got a year left. The manager, the sporting director, and the player have all spoken about him leaving. Any mic he could get his hands on, he will go on an interview and say he wants to cut out. I think Odegaard's been caught in his head there. I think that was an unlikely collision. I hope he's all right. So it feels like he's there for anyone to take, man. Who would you rather interview, Edu, Arteta, or Odegaard? Good question. Mikel Arteta. Because I want to I'll actually like to talk about football at a deeper level with him. And especially because half of these players, obviously they're not going to say anything bad about the manager, but the way players that have signed for this club, players that have left this club, players at his club talk about Mikel Arteta, he might just, everything you think you know about football might be a lie. Edu, I'd love to just know the inner workings of this project. And I'd love to know moves that haven't come to, because half of these clubs probably try to sign players and it doesn't happen. Jorginho, I'm not going to lie, Jorginho, did you get a good night's sleep? You've been Uncle's been a bit mad today. Yeah, Odegaard, not really anything to ask. Well, there is, but there's not really anything I particularly ask you in an interview. As opposed to them. So I'd say, you know what? Arteta first, Eddie second, Odegaard third. Granit Xhaka tries to play a progressive pass. He does. Zinni be strong. Is that a Zinchenko interception? Oh, wow. Wait, it's not even Zinni's fault. It's Trossard's fault. We're getting ourselves in trouble defensively. Never a foul. Play to the whistle, Leverkusen. Trossard just chopped someone for no reason, and I'm here for it. Zinni, come on. I believe in you. Gabriel hooks it clear. Where's Kai? Because if Kai's not fighting for that, we're in trouble. To be fair, Kai weren't far away. Gabriel Jesus, ref, that's a push on the shirt. Jesus has done well to keep it for us. Come on, boys. Jesus, 15 league goals this season. I'm speaking into existence. Trossard, bang it. Forget everyone. Hit it, lad. Hit it. Did that take a deflection? Either way, the keeper saved. And it's a corner. Trossard's not normally hesitant, but what was he hesitating for? Hit it. Shout yourself, coach. Hope you're doing well as well. Buying or playing like condoms right now. It's a crazy way. And the Bundesliga is nothing to sniff at. Bit harsh. It's still a top 5 league, man. I was thinking, why Trossard hit it? And I think he's actually scuffed it. Nonetheless, it's been saved. Gabriel, you should have ran forward. Probably. DG, who do you think will go in relegation next season in the Prem? I mean, naturally, you have to have a bias to who's just been promoted. I think a lot of teams were actually fortunate that the three teams that obviously got relegated last year, they were very poor. If I'm honest with you, pardon me, Zinchenko, Trossard, trying to be a bit too intricate. I like the manager at Ipswich, but I think they naturally got to stay. I think Southampton got a good manager, but naturally them. I'd say all three promoted teams then. Raya's gone long. Big Gabriel playing right wing is crazy. I know Tony thought he'd be at a big club. Probably. I see Brentford struggling. Oh, no, I like Thomas Frank. Nottingham Forest, Ipswich, Spurs. Would love Spurs. I'd love Spurs to go down. Xhaka talking all that BS, thinks we forgot. Man thought one good year allowed him to talk with chess. Bit harsh. Because I think Xhaka had a lot of issues, but I don't think I don't agree with the narrative that he was only good for 2 years. And to be fair, as much as I don't like it, bro, if I'm Granit, I'll turn around and say, yeah, cool, you lot won in the Emirates Cup. Wow. Everyone put their league titles on the table. Oh, Granit Xhaka's lucky. Gabriel Jesus was about to pick his pocket. Jonathan Tah, Tat Sober. Florian Wirtz. None of that, Jorginho. None of that. Lovely. Xhaka is an op now. He deserves getting clamped. Damn. Who's a centre mid from Brazil, Arsenal trying to buy? Is he good? I mean, we've been linked with a number of Brazilian ones. It could be João Gomez. It could be that Gabriel Carvalho guy. I've only seen him 16 years of age. I've only seen him on YouTube. Bruno Comares, which we'd all love him. Can't afford that. Julian Alvarez looks like he's signing for Atletico Madrid, broski. We need to cancel all our links to Osimhen and Gyökeres. We don't need a striker. Steady, man. Steady. Xhaka's problem was when he played in the middle, he wasn't quick enough to make tackles. Moved to the left, he was better. I just think this, in Granit Xhaka's lifetime at Arsenal, this is the first time we've had a functional system. Emre used to tinker a lot. Ref, miles offside. Who is this? Ref, you've got to book him. You tried to chip Raya and it's gone off target. Who are you? Ref, you're not going to book him pre-season or not? Who is that? Oh, you know what? Had he have put that in and that was a Premier League game, we might have been in trouble, you know. Adley, cut your hair, mate. You would have seen that he was offside. What happened to Timber? Apparently, he's been left out as a precaution. You know, Arteta did say a few weeks ago we have to manage his workload. Zinchenko, oh, a bit better pass from you, and Havertz is in. Listen, I think Gabriel Jesus looks good. Yes, he's not playing. But to be fair, it's like there's two up front with Havertz now in the last couple of moments. As much as I like Havertz, I like Jesus. We're kidding ourselves if we think that's levels. Ref, he won the ball there. Big Gabriel's moving a bit mad. Another late one. Book him, man. There's no friendlies. Book him. What are you doing? You do that in the Premier, getting booked. Standards, man. Xhaka was good for us for several years. There's got to be a reason at the end of the day. Xabi Alonso, he's spoken about as being Spain national team manager, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Liverpool. If he wanted him, Arteta, similar kind of praise. Emre used him. Wenger used him. There's, you know, Jose tried to sign him. There's got to be something likable about Granit. I do admit, it doesn't surprise me the role Xhaka has probably at Leverkusen, not so much today, but the role he has at Leverkusen generally, and the role he had in the last 2 seasons at Arsenal. Purely because I remember Arsene Wenger on social media getting kind of killed for suggesting Granit Xhaka as a box-to-box midfielder. He never utilised him as such. A late one on Kai Havertz. Kai is tough as old boots, so if he's down, there's an issue. Ref, come on, get a hold of the game. $15 minutes left to the end of the half. Spurs, Chelsea, or United, who are we going to be laughed at? Who are we going to be laughing at the most this season? Hopefully Spurs, man. See, they laughed at us for losing to Arsenal pre-season. You lot gassed up beating us last year. You lot gassed up taking the lead. 100% I want to go to games. Jose, Mourinho, Wenger, Emre, Alonso, Arteta, all right. I do think Xhaka was scapegoat, but at the same time, I think there was too much of a fetish around him. Saliba, don't panic. Does well. Fabio, protect it, please. Be strong. Be strong. Don't get pushed off that. That's our throw, but you got to do better, man. You can do better. You are better. Benjamin White takes the throw. Oh, ref, come on! You have to book him pre-season or not. That's a cynical one on Jesus. Done the Brazilian flicking it over the head. You could see what Jesus was going to do before he got the ball. Ref, come on. Jesus, next time that happens, I don't advocate violence. As a shorter person, leave your elbows. Just like, you know, at corners, jump with your elbows. If whoever gets caught, gets caught. Wish you the best. Right, I'm revealing the dark side to myself. Moving that Pepe and that. Them man are a circus. Chelsea, definitely. It all depends what this Maresca guy is on, man. I do think their pressing looks better. What they're trying to do with possession looks a bit better, but everything can look wavy in pre-season. And again, especially a new manager or any manager that's trying new things, you're not just going to have a month, bearing in mind half of these players are scattered about. You're not just going to turn everything around in a month. Dare I say, you only really see the fruits of the labor of pre-season. For me, probably about 5 to 10 games into the new season. Gabriel's gone back to David Raya. Simple stuff, Raya. Come on. Lovely. Gabriel. Yo, what you do? Gabriel's moving mad today. You know, I'm not going to lie. Trossard's made his pass look well, but inadvertently, we've got some defending to do. Big Gabriel doing silly flicks, doing silly things. Do that in training. He's made up for it with a corner, but come on, Gabriel, man. Remember your centre half. Switch on, man, please. Switch on. Moving a bit booky there. Oh, it's not a corner. Fair enough. Saliba. Look where Odegaard is. See, this is why we need a central midfielder, man. Look what can I screenshot this in time? Come on. Look where Odegaard is. Okay, I did. I might do a tactical review. Look where Odegaard is, man. When the centre-half split, he's popping in there. Just because, rightly so, Arteta's found a solution. Kai can't do that. So, Kai, you might as well run forward. But that's why we need a central midfielder. I want Odegaard to have the luxury to be able to do that in the game, but not a necessity, which is kind of today. Fabio Vieira, not really got to take on his Odegaard's like, ref, come on. Pre-season or not, you got to book him. That's late. It's late ones. Another late one on Odegaard. Odegaard absolutely turned Tat sober. You're rubbish, man. That's why no one bought you. Ref, that's late. And look at Granite saying it's not a foul. Don't be dumb. Who's that? Chelsea are dusted. That Levi jeans and Badashile self-use Cole Palmer carry job is needed. I wonder what they do with Cole Palmer. Will he still play off the right or will they play him centrally? To be fair, to defend Jacques, he played the majority of his Arsenal career as a 6 or left back, either centre back. Probably. I mean, he played in a couple of them roles on occasion. When Arteta came in and brought Partey, we saw the best of him. Season before last year, when we saw Thomas Partey fit for around 40 odd games, like something special, weren't it, really and truly? Big up you lot for tuning in. If you haven't hit the sub button, make sure we're doing such. The real DG coming out. I apologize. Oh, Ricardo. Oh, California's not in the lineup, bro. He just signed for us. You have to say his full name until it sticks in my mind. I was like, who's that? I was actually thinking Richarlison, and I was like, who's that? We ain't got him. Trossard delivers. Can we put that in? Hincapie gets his head to it. Havertz is actually that guy. Chelsea's defense is a shambles, but their attack is promising. But surely, if you throw enough money at something, you've got to get it right at some point. I think Man United will be a lot better this season. I actually think Chelsea will get. I hope it's Spurs. I actually think Spurs have a good manager that's got the right ideas, but whether he's able to accomplish that, I don't know. Hopefully, Solanke, the minute he signs for them, we wish respectfully to him, we wish him nothing but the worst because he signs for Spurs. Hope he stinks out the place. Ref, look at the hands all over Saliba. I don't even think Saliba's girlfriend is that hands-on. Look at that. Look at Ref. Come on. Ref, are you watching? Zinchenko goes for it with a header. I don't know what he was doing, but you know what, Zinni? Do your thing. You scored today. Big up DG as always. New season on the horizon. Thoughts? Bring it on, man. Ready for the highs, the lows. Don't know what's going to happen. One thing I would love to keep going is the top 6 record. I don't think we'll have an unbeaten record against the top 6. Hopefully, third time lucky. I'm a bit pessimistic on Premier League chances until I see a central midfielder, a winger, and a striker roll in. I think we're kind of... Not that this is as good as we get, but it is something needs to give in that regards, if that makes sense. Don't think the squad's big enough necessarily either. Yeah, man. Xhaka, Katsoba, Hinkapie, Havertz. Good passage of play, to be fair, from Leverkusen. Xhaka, first time to Hinkapie. Can kind of see, not that he's got to really show what he's about, but I can see why Arteta, or we was linked with him if we didn't go and get Calafiori. Trossard and Zinchenko, have they got away with that? Hey, Zinchenko, no panic. I mean, no risk. Safety first approach. He's changing, man. He's changing. What thoughts are there to have on Tommy Robertson? Pardon my language. You can suck his mum for a dirty straw. Like anyone that's on that racist stuff can. To be fair, there's nothing else to say. 10 minutes to go into the second half. Apologies, folks. You know, Trossard and Zinchenko have done what they've needed. We're 2 goals up. The 16-year-old, the one Chelsea look like they're signing. From what I can see, he looks alright, but I ain't got an informed opinion. I can't tell you I've watched 10 games. So I can't really talk. And to be fair, with the amount of wonder kids Chelsea are signing, like if you sign 1 million, 2 surely turn into gold. Doing good so far, man. Tatsoba. I'm sure one of these Leverkusen players were capping and saying that Leverkusen will get top 4 and fight for the league if they're in the Prem. You never know. But yeah, man. Probably extremely unlikely. Just gonna have to eat that, man. If Zubimendi goes Liverpool, he does ball into the box. Jorginho sent it clear. That was a good opportunity for Leverkusen, if I'm completely honest with you. If we can get one more before half time, I'm cool with this, you know. Then I can, you know, get me a third. Bring me Martinelli. Wouldn't mind seeing Gabriel Jesus score. Speaking of the devil, Gabriel Jesus, do it alone. Brazil, please don't talk on my guy. This keeper's rubbish. Don't talk on my guy, please. 15 league goals this season. We're gone. Jesus, may your disrespect be forgiven, my guy. We're coming this season. 15 league goals. We're coming. Yes! You deserve that, Jesus. As I said at the start of this, I'd love for him to score. You need that. Fabio, what are you doing? You need to get something as well. Fabio, you ain't been terrible, but you've been the one that ain't really done nothing. And I mean, almost all of the goals, have come down this left-hand side. I don't know what Leverkusen are doing. And obviously, I support Arsenal. I don't give a flying monkeys, but this keeper's terrible, man. I'm not going to lie to you. He's horrible. It's not the best of shots. Take nothing away from Jesus. Odegaard's begging for the ball. If you don't pass, you have to score. Leverkusen are doing terrible defensively. It's a tame effort. It kind of reminds me of, remember a few moments ago, we was all waiting for Trossard to shoot, and it weren't the best of efforts, but it forced a save from the goalie. I don't know what Leverkusen are doing. I don't really care what they're doing. Big up Gabriel Jesus. All of them coming from this left-hand side. Every last one of them. And shout out to Odegaard and Kai Havertz as well, because they, not that they made this space, but they took runners with them through the positions they took up. Let's go, man. Zinchenko, Trossard, Gabriel Jesus with the goals, people. Can we get another one? Hey, this keeper's horrible, man. I weren't watching Leverkusen week in, week out, and I'm not a Leverkusen fan, but this can't be the guy that played week in, week out for you lot, man. There's no way. Leverkusen looking to react. They're attacking down this right-hand side. Deal with this, boys. Raya, where are you? Raya's not called into action. Saliba gets his head to it. We will have a corner to defend, though. Let me find out Jesus is scoring goals from outside the box now. I mean, if you're never going to get inside the box, you might as well. Really? Yeah, that is a good point. At least he shot, not always his first instinct. That is a really good point. He would have done hella skills for no reason, probably somehow nutmegged, all 10 outfield players and then missed. But we love him, though. Wirtz. You can't be the German wonder kid they're talking about. We ain't seen nothing, fella. What's all this? Lovely. But to be fair, when Musiala came to the Emirates, he weren't on nothing either. Barca want 40 million for Frankie de Jong. We can grab him with the Smith Rowe running. But then you look at the wages. Who's the keeper's active, man? Somehow this keeper's going to end up at the Emirates. I don't blame you. He actually okay playing out from the back. Man said clean sheet, boys. Reset. It's 0-0. DG boys. It's been a while since we've done that. 0-0. 0-0. To be honest, I was in a rave. Someone come up to me and done that, you know. I think I got the vid somewhere. Oh, we played our way into trouble. Havertz, boys. Jesus preseason R9. I mean, Eddie and Ketia used to be a serious goal scorer in preseason. Do you think 2022-23 Jesus is back? Listen, my YouTube channel's on the line. I hope so. I will look like a genius if he gets 15 league goals or more. Or people be like, oh, you really are deluded, mate. You got to take risks. Sober. I can't believe we're letting centre halves have shots. So far, so good, man. I mean, all in all, of our preseason games so far, I can't say I haven't been angry, but this is probably the happiest I've been collectively. And, you know, as we get towards next week, happy to see this. Granit Xhaka. Tar. If Frankie de Jong moves, he can't be on the same money unless he goes to Saudi or PSG. That is true, and that is something to consider. But, you know, if you're Frankie de Jong and you go to Man United, you go to Arsenal, obviously wages are adjusted, or Chelsea or whatever. You're gonna want to be the highest paid earner or one of them. David Raya, taking forever. I love it. I've missed this. So far, we look as good as last season. Just need a few players in. David Raya's gone long. Kai Havertz, where are you? Jesus, where are you? To be fair, Kai, you were there trying to go up front. Granit Xhaka's won the ball and gone back home to his goalie. The keeper don't want it. He don't want it. Tatsoba don't want it. He's nervous. Look, he's going to hook there. He's nervous. He's actually done quite well for Leverkusen. Zini win it. Zini and Gabriel going for the same header. And this is probably where the problems with Zinchenko defensively start. You know, communication, boys. I think Frankie de Jong's a quality player. I just think it's going to sound dumb, but when I look beyond the fact that you're a good player, good passing, all that stuff, what do? Do you stand up to be counted when moments are difficult? I don't know if you're built like that, man. Seem a bit soft to me. And he does love an injury. I like our coordinated pressure. Not alone. You're not alone. United fans told me Cavar was the one last season. Fabio Vieira's giving it away. You know what, Fabio? You can stay out there and get 90 minutes, but I want to see a bit more from you. You're not playing terribly. I just think Trossard's been on another level. Jesus been on another. And I'm even gassing the player slightly, but I think Trossard, Havertz, Fabio Vieira, you have not earned the right to shout at Benjamin White. You know the man that when they're making mistakes, they're moaning at other people. Shh, he might thump you up. But I think Havertz has been different gravy. Zinni's been quite good. Trossard's been good. Jesus been good. Odegaard, if you watch the game again, he's been quite good. Everyone's been doing their thing. Don't think anyone's been poor. I think Gabriel's thinking he's a centre mid or a number 10. But other than that, yeah. Boy, I don't think Tommy Robertson is racist, to be honest, from my research. You do your research, man. Just know, respectfully, Ahmed, yeah. Just know he's still gonna get onto you. Like everyone, what these racist dons don't understand. Like Tommy Robertson, Nigel Farage, these people are using. They don't care. You think Nigel Farage has twanged everyone? You'd think he's just a working class lad. Didn't he go private school? Twanging, but it's been happening. Racism is always going to be there. Ignorance is always going to be bliss. Zini, come on, do better defensively. You got there, but it's only into the path of a Leverkusen lad. Don't watch that, Zini. You're our Zini, man. I'm a new Arsenal fan. Welcome. Unnecessary on Xhaka, but he didn't complete it. Ethan for Vieira second half. But Vieira might as well stay on. At least you can say you played 90 minutes in some game. DG, why you're not in the locker room today? I don't know, my guy. Teller taking on Zini. That's the problem. He fancies it. Raya's had to make a save. That's the only problem with Zinchenko. People fancy it against him. That Teller or Adil, who knows? Who cares? Fabio Vieira. Don't worry, man. There's a player there. You think Ben White will return to the England squad? Well, I mean, Southgate and Steve Holland have cut. Zinchenko and Gabriel in discussions. To be fair, you know what? Zinny, you can talk to Gabriel because you scored, but Gabri, turn it off, man. Don't worry. Tommy, Timber, Calafori, the real ones will be back soon, man. If Osman comes in, Havertz would be on the bench. Who would have priority to come off the bench, him or Jesus? It all depends, really, because you'd imagine if you sign Osman, him and Havertz give or take of the forwards. Jesus probably gets some game time out wide. Zinchenko's barbecue chicken on defense. It's Frimpong. Yeah, he's cooking him. He is. Pick up the Ugandans. What have we made of that first half, people? Zinni keeps getting beaten by a pace. Because, again, I don't think the excuses extend far because at the end of the day, Zinchenko has played a lot of games at left back. He's played there for Arsenal and obviously City and his country on occasion. But he's not a natural defender. He's flat-footed. He's not following runners. You know, he doesn't know when to drop off, doesn't know when to get tight. Evidently, an air of a lack of communication, as you would have seen with that cup scene with Gabriel. And teams know this, and they just, unfortunately, they fancy it against Gabriel, man. They fancy it. Who's this guy with Adrian Clark? I could have got this role. What, Arsenal? I couldn't have done this pitch side chatting thing. This guy looks awkward. Big him up, though. Shout out Adrian Clark. I want MLS and Ethan to get minutes second half. I think we all do, man. Jesus is looking sharp, lost a bit of weight too. Good to see our left-hand side doing well. Clock is still running. Lovely. We better as well cut that off. The second half is finished for now, folks. Havertz showing he's one of the best off-the-ball runners in the world. He should be good off the ball. Professional footballer, German international. Who's your man of the half? Couple candidates, you know. I'm gonna give it Havertz. He's got 2 assists, and I just think he's been good off the ball. Very good off the ball. I think Zinni's done quite well, if I'm honest. I think Tross, obviously, couple moments defensively could do better. Trossard gave the ball away 1-2 times. But I think Trossard's done quite well. I think Jesus, Trossard, Zinni, Odegaard, from what I'm seeing, I think them lot have been the eye catchers, really. Jesus comeback season. Where I used to kick ball with these guys. He's one DJ now. So that's why he's there. Looks awkward for real. What does that mean? One of the best off-the-ball runners in the world. You should be good off the ball, bro. He should be. I think he means in terms of intelligence and that. He's been great on the ball. Wasn't always the case last season. I hear that. Shout out to you, DG. Can you make your top 6 prediction for this coming season starting from the bottom? For you guys, I will, but I always hated stuff like this because there's so many variables. Top six. Because there's always a wild card. Like Aston Villa look like they're here to stay. Good question. Let me say 6th place. I hate them, but I'll type that in there. 5th place. I think Liverpool could do it, but I don't know what slots on. They're doing fitness at half-time. Yeah, you can see that in the backdrop with Saliba, Gabriel, Fabio Vieira. Do you know, that's warm downs, man. They're probably coming off. Them man are probably coming off. They looks like they're doing warm downs. Them lot are probably Jesus, Saliba. Well, for what I saw in the shot, Fabio Vieira, Jesus, Saliba. Maybe they're doing fitness, but that's just telling me they're coming off. 4th. No. Go back a bit. Go back. No, it got a Baku memory. I don't necessarily believe it. 3rd. But a couple injuries and Liverpool in trouble, though, man. Type that in there. And then 1st. I'd have to sit down and do an in-depth one, man. Good question. Follow the 2nd channel. We'll get that stuff going. It's not even just... Who else is that? I see Saliba, Zinchenko, Fabio Vieira, Gabriel Jesus. So it looks like them lot are coming off. I don't know. They could genuinely be doing fitness. That's a warm down to me. Which, you know, at the end of the day, you know, 45 minutes in the tank. Keep it moving. Be positive, DG. I'm always positive or as negative as I feel the information presents to me. Newcastle is the one to seal top 4. Need to see a bit more investment there, though, man. It seems like Aston Villa are the ones kind of building. Injuries killed Newcastle. I'm optimistic. I'm just not blindlessly optimistic or pessimistic. You know, again, I always hope for the best and prepare for the worst. That's just how I look to try and live my life. If I'm honest with you, I'm as optimistic as the information. Like, I've never been one to just dream for no reason and scream buzzwords and we can do it and believe and that. Neither have I been one to just be negative if there's nothing to whatever. I think the things that will cripple Arsenal is the lack of depth. As much as I like the players, clearly there needs to be and there's a lot of romance. I think there needs to be a bit more cold-heartedness around getting certain players to get us over the line. I also think I think the biggest and worst thing is that we master our own downfalls. I think the last 2 years, as great as City are, we didn't win the league because of things we didn't do, really. If Jesus has a good season in terms of goals, I think we have a good chance of winning the title. Still think we need a centre mid forward and a right winger. People get called out for staying in the middle. They want you to be on one side or the other. I mean, again, I always say on my channel, I don't tell you what to think. Just think. If you want to be optimistic to the point of La La Land or the toxic one, and I'm not accusing you of saying that, by the way, broski, do that. If you want to be negative, do that. Now, of course, across the course of the season, obviously, if Arsenal go and put in a performance like we did against Aston Villa at home or Fulham away, obviously people are going to be negative. If we go and batter teams like what we were doing for the large part of the season or pulling some rabbits out the hats like 4 points off Liverpool and City, could be optimistic. I just have to see. I would like to see the depth. Sorry, people, I'm doing my stretch. I'm getting cramps. I would like to see the depth of this side improve. I would like to see a centre mid. I would preferably like a winger and a striker. If you can bring one of the two in, cool. And I think we've got something special. I love our defensive things. I love what Arteta is doing. I love the unpopular decisions that have proved well. But now it's about chasing that excellence, which I believe the club's doing. And I believe in your own way, everybody's got to pull their weight. I feel when you break down our squad, there's too many unanswered questions. I've come out and said, if Gabriel Jesus don't get 15 league goals, this channel is gone, yeah? It's like, is he going to do that? Are certain man going to stay fit? How many of these players, and I'm purely talking about winning the league, can you really bet on like that are going to be fit for the whole season? How many questions do we have answers for? What is our first choice midfield? Do we have enough depth in midfield? Who is going to score those goals? Who is going to be fit? There's a lot to like, but now it's about crossing over those fine margins now. Year in, year out, there's been been good seasons and whatnot. Like, we ran City down to the last day of the season. Cool, we didn't win it. It's not an achievement because, like, bro, you don't get medals for that. But it's a good, that City team with Pep Guardiola backed by an oil state, we did well. But in my heart, I don't really care what City did in the last 2 years. History's kind to them. Pep Guardiola fourth one in a row. The year before that treble, it looks like destiny. But in my heart, and I think this is the most positive thing I can say about us right now, I think we lost the league because of what we did or didn't do. The season before the one that just went, we fell off towards the end. Last season, majority of the team, we did what we needed to do, but we shot ourselves in the foot on several occasions. We did that against Spurs at the Emirates. We did that against Chelsea away from home. And even when we haven't been at our best, we've won games or ran away with things. Should have killed the game in the first half against Aston Villa at home. Didn't do that. You saw what happened. Didn't have any solutions to putting the ball in the back of the net against Liverpool in the FA Cup and against West Ham at the Emirates. So if we can arrest these things, and I'm not asking, I would love us to win every game. It don't work like that. If we can arrest these things, we're lit. But unfortunately, you're playing this monster of a City team where I just said on one hand, I don't expect us to win every game. Bad things happen. You can't be at the races. But against this City team, you can't really afford that. Like, I would love to know statistically, how many points can you actually drop if you're going to fight City for the league? I guess you'd have to just look at the 1 year Liverpool won it. And take nothing away from Liverpool, folks. Smash the like button. They won the battle. They didn't win the war. Don't get twisted. If we can grab a little Champions League in the Prem while City are doing this, then cool, it is what it is. But they won a battle, not the war. Because how many did City bag? And if worse comes to worse, I just want our team to be ready for when Pep Guardiola calls it a day. City will still be up there. But unless they're going to go and get a generational coach, I think it, quote unquote, it becomes more fair game. Pep ain't going to be there forever. Kevin De Bruyne ain't going to be there forever. A lot of those players ain't. Foden is going to have to be the difference maker, which he isn't for England or City. But he'll bag a hat-trick against Ipswich and everyone will be calling him the best thing since sliced bread. pretender. Bottled it at €2. Didn't back his mum. Don't compare him to Bukayo. Or even Cole Palmer now. I'm ready to run that agenda. But let me sit back down, folks. I wasn't on screen, so that weren't me. But you get the point. What are you guys saying in the chat? Deluded sofa, no allows. Josh Cena with the multicultural English speaking facts. Boy, DG, this chair, straight spitting facts, man. Where you find that? Hey, man, Amazon still. He did. Hey, I did that. What did you say about him not backing his bro? That's crazy, man. Come on, keep it football, bro. Keep it football, man. Keep it football. Keep it football. Are you having a pea in a flower pot? That's a bit weird, man. And if you're not a gal, you shouldn't be asking about my something underneath still. Right, you're moving a bit bad. Welcome to the chair, watch along. Rookie mistakes from Arteta. At this point, I hear that, but I just think they're mistakes, man, because I just think he's making mistakes now. And I think anything we've achieved or not achieved has been on them. Obviously, it's a bit unique in that not only is Arteta, it's a bit harsh to call a man a rookie manager, but in terms of this thing, he is a rookie manager. He's seen firsthand working at City what it means to win, to win a title. Bro, stop yapping. If I go quiet, then how are we going to do a watch along? We need a striker. Without one, it would be second or third. For me, if we had an Alexis Sanchez, or like, you see how Liverpool had Mane and Salah. If we had Bukayo Saka doing what he's doing, and we had Alexis Sanchez on the left, what we know of him at Arsenal, and we had a Santi Cazorla in centre midfield, well, I'm screaming league. And that's what, it doesn't jar me, but like, we're flirting with it now, man. It takes a lot more than flirting, but we're flirting with it now. Like, I can't say it's become a reality because we haven't won it, but it's fairly feasible. Like, it's not as impossible as when this project first started talking about City. And Lord knows that we've been battered more often than not against City. It's nice to be, for me as well, and I shouldn't really praise a club for this because we're Arsenal, we should be competitive, but it's nice to be competitive whether we win or lose. It's nice to see some pride in a shirt. It's nice to see the fans and everything doing what they're doing. It's nice to see, obviously, words don't always match up, but words that people are coming out with from the club is being matched up. How many times were simply put, people used to come out and it's bare nothing statements. So yeah, man. Just keep doing what we're doing. F it, bring Sanchez back. Think he's a free agent. No. Never spin the block. Man City are flopping next season because Kevin De Bruyne just got on, man. What? He said, DG, what sport you think you could win an Olympic medal at Olympics at? Nothing, bro. They're the Olympians still. Like, I was going to say something. They would have got guys cancelled. Maybe smoking Cali or something, but nothing, bro. Nothing, bro. Nothing. Like Olympics. Nothing. Big Olympics. Forget it, man. Forget it. Olympics. If I had to give it a shot, fitness on the floor, clearly not levels, but sign me up to Thierry Henry's French national team, innit? Really, I'd scream that one, really. Like, that's the only way around it. Like, other than that, we're in trouble. Santi is still playing, bringing back to get Cochlear whilst right. Get all the lads back together. Man said air guitar. DG from J 100 meters. On popular opinion, I hate running. I couldn't, but I'm not. When I used to do 100 meters, well, to be fair, Enfield Borough, okay, third still. Well, I used to do that. I'll take that. I'm not happy about third, but I don't like running. I got forced to do that by my school, so I just wanted to be. I just don't like being lost. It sounds dumb, but I more preferred 400 and 800, if that makes sense. Just because you don't really have to take it seriously. It's just a little jogging thing and then sprinting. Hated sprinting. Can't play tennis like that. Can't play badminton like that. Can't play table. Second half soon begin, folks. Can't play table tennis like that. It's a bit tough, ain't it, really? Why isn't... Oh, we might be in problems here. Why is it not letting me minimize? Oh, there we go. Because how would we restart? The second half soon begin, people. It's lovely to have the watch-alongs back. What else is there? Fencing, forget about that. High jump, forget about that. Long jump, forget about that. Gymnastics, definitely forget about that. I must admit, watching the Olympics, the gymnastic stuff where they got to do the synchronized stuff, and it's quite lit. Like, I've got an appreciation for those things. I said, hope you enjoyed. I'm backing you for boxing in the Olympics, bro. Gold all the way. I'll see Manchester and they bounce freaking. Hey, David, allow me. I hear that. But professional boxing, I don't think so. Ping pong's elite. I'd love to be able to play ping pong like that. A lot of my friends are good at that, but that's because they've obviously been on certain holidays for a number of years, so they got nothing better to do than that, man. Freestyle BMX. I like my ankles. Kivio's coming on as well. Did you think me? If I had to do that, you think I'm doing BMX, skateboard, any of that? Oi! Bukayo Saka is going to be on. I saw Kivio. I saw Saka. Declan Rice, Kivio, Saka, young Miles Lewis Skelly. Come on. We're cooking now. Let's go. What do you think about Vieira? I think he's weak. I think he's technically great. I like him a lot, but beyond that, too lightweight, bit inconsistent. I think his Arsenal career has just been a cycle, bit of promise in the sub appearances, occasional start, injured again. And if worse comes to worse and you're not a first teamer like that, just be what Trossard has been for a number of times, and that Trossard's been on the bench and part of he's been able to impact. See, this is why we need to sell Kivio. Why are you late to the huddle? He's not serious, man. Declan Rice is on. Back in school, I used to do 1,500 meters. Never used to be quick enough for the small races. That's the thing. You can kind of time it. What else would there be? Nah, I was only really interested in playing football. That's one thing I want to my unborn kid. You have to play multiple sports. You don't have to love them. You don't have to be amazing at them. But I'm very lopsided as such. Bayern Leverkusen will kick off the second half. People, as you look can see, we are winning 3-0. Gabriel Jesus, Leandro Trossard, and Zinchenko with the goals. Jesus and Zinchenko have come off. Trossard still on. You'd imagine little 10, 15. Probably maybe him, Kai Havertz, they come off. One love for the super chat, my dude, Brian, man. I appreciate that. Kai has actually looked decent in midfield this preseason. Do you think Arteta will go back to it, or do you think he'll be the 12th man? I think he'll go back to playing up front. I mean, Kai can do a thing up. Kai Havertz isn't terrible in midfield, but you're left wanting more. And teams can kind of clock, you know. If Kai Havertz is in midfield, get out of it. Put someone with a man marking job on Odegaard. We're done. As you can see, the man in possession there. We need a central midfielder that can just do this. Trossard's done very well, actually. Keep going, boys. Keep going. Why am I watching this on a minimized screen? Okay, we're back now. I wonder how long Saliba and Gabriel have got. Just come on, boys. Can we get 4? Yes, Emirates Cup champions. Sam, you proud of yourself, mate? Technically, until Saturday, we're English Super Cup champions as well. Saka playing on the left. It looks like he's on the right, broski. I'd be top 5 in running, sand jump thing. I don't know. I think you know what, you're right. I think I could attempt that if I had to. Good question. I've seen that on social media. People saying that they could win in Olympic sports. People that train their whole life for these things. You think you could just rock up? Myth. But that's like when people say, "Oh, I could play Premier League football." No, you fucking can't, mate. Even the crappiest of footballers that you believe they're levels above, and more than anything, it's speed of thought. Jorginho's bought that free kick. Lovely. Havertz up front. Let's go. Music to my ears, man. Hopefully we get to see Ethan. The problem is for you. Oh, have we frozen? Oh, we're back now. That was a bit nervy. Gabriel. Kivio. Spoken to anyone in Italy recently, Kivio? Fair enough. Saka. Back to Jacob Kivio. Killed Saka with that. Won't get on to Kivio for the pass because we got away with it. But come on, you're better than that. Remember when you actually spent a period performing quite well in that right-hand centre-back role when we finally dropped Rob Holding. By then, obviously, the damage was done. Gabriel. Trossard. Finds the on-running Declan Rice. Be strong, Declan. Ref, that's a foul. Free kick. Come on, ref. Pre-season or not. Declan Rice done well to find Kai. Kai, forget it. Do it on your own. Be composed, lad. Lovely, Kai. Oh, Lord, Kai, that pass was a bit booky, but you and Declan, we still got it. Trossard. Man on. Jorginho. Come on, who wants it? You know Jorginho can find you. Benjamin White wants you know. Lewis, can you play that? Lewis Skelly even. You can do that, you know. Believe in yourself. Hey, Len is bringing through monsters. Just give him time, man. Could be a shrewd sort of addition into the first team one day. Don't know if he'll need a loan or something like that, but got a lot of time for him, man. More so the young lad's attitude more than anything, man. Kivio, what's that? Trossard, lovely. That's what you do for a teammate. Turn a terrible pass into a good one. Lewis Skelly, Trossard. And I don't want to be that guy and I don't know. But Gabriel, he looks like he feels a lot more comfortable with Lewis Skelly. And Lewis Skelly being a central midfielder by trade and obviously able to play at left back. This is a little decent role for him. Considering he's right-footed as well, I don't know the longevity of him playing as an inverted left back. But yeah, man. Hope so. My favourite Olympic medalist is the old dude who won the silver for shooting. He looks like he's definitely shot 1-2 people in his lifetime. We've got 280 likes. Can we get to 300 for the end of the stream? Big arcs, but only because you lot are doing quite well, man. Yeah, I mean, he's a shooter. We all watched him shooting at the Olympics. That Turkish guy, did he look like someone that just learned how to shoot? Lewis Skelly will take this throne. I thought you had a tattoo there. Let's say when you get that. Who wants it? Come on, boys. Not the best of throws from Lewis Skelly, if I'm honest with you. Jorginho can't get there. Xhaka palms it onto Hincapie. Surely Hincapie gets a move. Seems like there's a lot of interest in him. Odegaard will lead the press. Go on, Kai. It's a scary sight. They don't want to see Kai and Odegaard pressing. Don't let them out, boys. Don't let them out. Be strong. It's good from Leverkusen. No, it's not. Big Gabriel's there. Be strong, Jorginho. Uncle virtually didn't want it. You did not want it. Soft. Didn't come to anything, though. Great to see you. I've been grinding hella hard this summer. Shout yourself, man. I thought Lewis Skelly left foot. There's no way you could have thought that. But you know what? When people ask you what foot are you, it's lit. That's a good switch of play from Leverkusen here. I just like the temperament Lewis Skelly plays with, man. And I think for him, he's learning to be slightly less adventurous on the ball because sometimes he can get caught. But that's not necessarily a criticism of his. It's just a young man. It's a bit like Ethan. And I think in the preseason games in America, you saw it improve. Again, was it against Bournemouth? Taking too many touches, if I'm honest with you. Technically, they're able to do it, or they wouldn't be part of training, let alone playing now. The higher the level, it's all about this upstairs, man. I mean, naturally, preseason or not, Xabi Alonso isn't going to be happy with what he saw. You did expect to see some level of reaction, and they've reacted, man. How crazy that the quickest man of all time happens to have the name Bolt like it's meant to be. Evidently, it's meant to be. Oh, Leverkusen could be in here. Is that a corner? Goal kick. Nathan Teller. You lot keep telling me it's Frimpong. It's that new Nathan Teller. The stream's not the best. Teller's been cooking today. I mean, naturally, in his former Arsenal, to be fair with you, that might have been a corner via that angle. I haven't talked to you since a long time, but I think our Afro away kits might be my favorite of all time. I like the story behind it and everything behind it and the reason for it, but it's crap, man. We missed with that. Absolutely missed with that. Ooh, Jonathan Tah. Is that the lad Bayern Munich want to buy? Bayern Munich must really be in problems. Why is it taking forever to give young Lewis Skelly the ball? What's going on? Subs, can you lot step... The Arsenal subs, can you lot step back? Why are you lot so close to the pitch where our guy's taking the throw? This is nonsense. I don't blame the young players, because this might be the closest some of you might be to breaking through. Lewis Skelly, keep that lovely virtue. Don't want it. Generational talent, what? I got a fit ready for that. The new away kit is way better than the old one. I'll take your word for it, man. You got a PlayStation or Xbox, PS5. We should have got a pen. I'm not sure about that. Gabriel. Ben wants Raya. Raya said, you know what? I'm going long. I see something. Is it going to work? Jonathan Tah's made a mare of this. Come on, Kai. Ref, hands all over Kai. Bloody hell. Ref, your boy in it. It's a bit soft from Kai and a bit uncoordinated, but evidently the shirt's being pulled. Raya. Good spot. This is why I like Kai up front, man, because he can still do all that stuff that Kai is good at. He wins the first and second ball and other people can get into. I've got a lot of time for Kai, man. Still want a striker, though. Do you think Yalmao would do bits in the EPL when he faces James Tarkowski and them, man, every week? He'd cook. They're absolutely cooked. I ain't feeling the kit. No story will convince me otherwise. I ain't a girl that needs to be told a story. Right, that's a bit harsh. No, I like the story behind it. I like the things behind it. It's just not me. I just don't like it, man. The black and gold was better, but they did give the fans what they want. I don't think the away kit's nice. I think the kit that these boys are wearing now is cool. So probably one of our better home kits. Do I think it's better than last season's? Probably no. I liked last season's. I think the away shirt, no, the third shirt, if it is that, was it blue, purple, whatever that is, looks good. Losing home at the Emirates is just embarrassing. Good thing we're not losing at this moment in time. Hopefully, there's no crazy comebacks. Naturally, him and Ethan will have a lot to learn. Harsh DG, that was a good switch from Kivio. Bro, he killed Trossard there, but that's what teammates do. His passing, his preseason has impressed me. I mean, I'll take your word for it. I'm not impressed by it, but fair enough. Benjamin White with a throw and gone. Kai wins the first. This is why I wanted the seconds, though. Xhaka's got there. And it's gone all the way back to Leverkusen's goalie. You look shaky in the first half. Absolutely shaky. Having Jorginho and Partey as our main midfield options week in, week out is a gamble. Hopefully, we don't take that risk and gamble in that regard. I'd really like to see us get Eze and Neto. I think adding players like these in attacking midfield would be enough for us. What's the price for Neto, though? You're looking at 50 odd. Crystal Palace, obviously, if they do sell Mark Gurhey, they're getting anything from 60 odd million quid. Eze, Elise, sorry, I don't know how much they got there, but you'd imagine the bank balance is great. You'd imagine they didn't want to lose all three. And you'd imagine that considering the interest in Eze and what he's done, him being in England squad, they're going to try and take Arsenal to the cleaners. There's been talk of a 60 million release clause, which, again, does that have to be paid in full like the La Liga ones? I'm not sure. Would they be prepared to take a Reece Nelson, Eddie Nketiah, or maybe even an Aaron Ramsdale in some capacity to knock the price off? Yeah, man. I think it's a myth. Don't like this kit as well. The bottom white blends with the white shorts. Makes it look like they're wearing bibs. Nah, I can't really see that. I actually like the shorts. I actually think this is a nice kit. Raya's off his line, to be fair. I don't blame him for being bored. Made a bit of a mess of that, Raya, but he's done enough. It's cool, Raya. Bit of a shame if Ramsdale can't get at least 1-2 minutes today. I like Elise. Sorry, I like Eze, but I think we should have went for. I think you mean Elise. I think we need that profile more. Would have been that lovely. Eze or Maino. If I could pick, I mean, Eze's probably ahead of him, but I'd rather Maino, man. I think Maino would bang at Arsenal Football Club in that midfield. Speaking of midfielders or inverted fullbacks, Miles Lewis-Skelly, not the best, kind of sold Kai Havertz short there, but they got away with that. Got to be a bit of a firmer pass there. Martin Odegaard, lovely. It's all these things that Odegaard's amazing to watch, man. Absolutely amazing. His technical ability, his footballing IQ, his manipulation of space, his ability to find himself into pockets. Lovely, man. Bukayo Saka, ref. I mean, I'm not going to lie. You're not going to get one for that, Saks. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I would have preferred Saka to sit on the bench. When are we going to say that about Bukayo Saka? Verts does very well. Never a foul, ref. Thank you, Verts. Get up, mate. He's not ready for the big boy leagues. Bukayo. Jorginho. Oh, Jorginho. Jorginho's passing has been very hit and miss, man, today. Been very hit and miss. Get the cobwebs out now, though, man. As long as this don't happen against Wolves, against Villa, against City, against Spurs, our first 5 games are mad. Lovely from Lewis. Him and Rice can't quite nick it, though. The Leverkusen lads done well to ride the challenge. Xhaka, Verts, Granit. Can't believe how many talented youth players we've let go. I hear it, but who do Arsenal really and truly miss? Chido Obi Martin in years to come might look like one. I don't miss Amici. Don't miss Vontae Daly Campbell. not necessarily Mr. Daniel Marlon. From a money point of view, could have made a lot more money on half of these players, and we definitely have to get better at that. Koza Jubi, I am going to miss him. And to be fair, with Nelson going, there could have been a road there, but I don't blame him for leaving. Waters could have made some money, could have been a steady Eddie. Not really care. Like, at the end of the day, you're not going to play ahead of Calafiori, Tomiyasu, etc. A devilish ball into the box from Leverkusen has come to nothing, but inadvertently, I think Gabriel's been taken out with Mr. Mari. But he's at Ipswich, innit? Like, it is what it is. I mean, I hope he did hit him by mistake, but you've got to be a madman to be a goalie. And I like the fact that my keeper's clearing out everything. Hope he's all right. I like Chido Obi Martin, but there's a lot of hype. A lot of people ain't watched 10 minutes of him. If he wants to leave, leave. Strikers typically peak late. And Man United don't necessarily care. If you develop, they're living, and I'm not criticizing them. If you develop to the next level and you become a household name striker, great. If you become a striker that's good but not quite good enough, they're going to sell you for 20, 30, 40 million. Keep it moving. Thomas Elsfield, Meady. Koza Jubri, I would have loved him to stay and got an opportunity. But again, the right decisions to cut. If I'm honest with you, Koza Jubri, you're not playing ahead of these guys, rightly or wrongly. Go and get first team football. I think had their contracts not been things, Waters and Koza Jubri probably would have cut. Waters, I actually think you could have been a calm, steady Eddie in years to come. But at the end of the day, look at the options ahead of you. You can play centre half, left back, and right back. Probably your best position is fullback. You're not getting ahead of Benjamin White. First name on the team sheet, England international, yada yada yada. Timber and Tomiyasu, also internationals, can play there. Same logic on the left. Preseason or not, how was that free kick? The game's gotten soft, man. Mark my words, give it 10 years, football gonna be no contact sport. It's nonsense, ref, man. I mean, Teller in hindsight, because you could have made some bread. I'm really proud of Nathan Teller. Like, you're invincible technically, you've won trophies. You didn't even get a pro deal at Arsenal. Ultimately, it happens with a lot of clubs. Football's a funny old game of opinions. I'm definitely proud of that horrible shot from you. Looks like a couple of substitutes will be coming on for Leverkusen. This number 8 is Andrik. Ain't you the German lad? Boys, be careful. He's on clamping. Looks like Aidan Heaven's coming on. Thomas Partey's coming on. Josh Nichols and Ethan will be coming on. Lovely. Partey and Calafiori are behind the guys on the bench, by the way, folks. Changes for both teams. You know what? Nice little run out, man. Nice to let these boys, you know, get some love in America, get some love in London in front of our fans. Amen. What do you think of Salvinho? City spent decent money on him, but I've never seen him play. I think he's a baller, you know. But at City, I don't know if you're going to play and do all of these things. DG, who you selling, Saka or Saliba? I'll sell a couple family members before I sell them, really and truly. But if I had to gun to my head, Saliba, because I've made peace with the fact that you're going to cut one day, if I'm honest, and Saka being homegrown, it makes it a bit more special. If we could sell some of these players for 15, 20 million, that would be ideal. It would be. You know, even City, like, I forgot, I don't even know my man's name. Is it Hamilton or something? They're about to sell some young player to Middlesbrough. That's where Arsenal need to get better, in my opinion. Generally, we need to get better at contracts, like not getting into these Koza Drewberries and water incidences. Even with Ethan, like, we got, like, it was a bit of a projected saga, but we got over the line. And even in the first team, nobody really cares but Nelson and Ketia. We need to get better with that with young players. But also, I think when these players have been in the under 21s, or like, for instance, Miles and Ethan, is becoming apparent that they're going to have to leave that level soon because they're not really going to learn anything. And then it's like, they're not quite in the first team yet. They're in around it. They're not quite there yet. They're here. I think we need to get better at that gap and finding temporary homes for these players or whatever, because Chelsea and City do that. And like somebody said, turning it into 20 million, 30 million players in general. Lovely for Miles Lewis Skelly. Sold my man a dream. Finds Thomas Partey. Lovely. Just take time with the young players. Let them develop. And hopefully, well, for me, there's something wrong if Miles and Ethan don't blow into the first team. And he's only 14, and let's take time. But that Max Dolman guy, like, bro, we need to be doing everything we can. Obviously, he's 14, but it's like what an Arsenal scout once told me about a teenage Jack Wilshere is that them man are built for it from that stage. Physically, they can cope with it. It's like young Yalmao. He's been one of these young players playing at higher ages. Odegaard's come off, by the way. Why is Jorginho raging? Don't know, but we need that. Who scored the third goal? Gabriel Jesus. Is anyone going to buy Ramsdale? Isn't he too good to be holding bench? Unless Arsenal lower their wages, lower their demands, probably not. And then you might have to explore a loan. If there's no market for you, and I don't know who you're going to go to, but for all the teams you've been linked with, where are you going to go and who's going to put the P's down? You've been linked with Southampton. Are they going to spend 30 to 50 million? Give you 100 grand a week, where if they get relegated, what happens there? Declan Rice, that was a poor delivery into the box. A better one, Ethan might get a goal at the Emirates. Declan Rice, Miles Lewis-Skelly, Gabriel. I mean, there might be a role for young Miles when Zinchenko cuts, you know. But we have to give these lot time because physically, speed of thought and consistency. And you have to give these players times to make mistakes. Now, obviously, let's just say, God forbid, something happened to all the left-back options and all the number 10 options where Arsenal are concerned. And Miles and Ethan had to play 15 games. They're going to struggle physically, recovery-wise, and consistently-wise. There's going to be weeks where they're 10 out of 10, others where they're not quite. Yes! I was just about to say, how have we not put that in the back of the net? Finally, a goal from the right-hand side. Bukayo Saka with a decent delivery. There was a touch of fortune. Kai Havertz is in the box. And he scores. He's got 2 assists and a goal. Kai Havertz scores again. It's been a great day at the office, man. It's been a great day at the office. Unfortunately, this don't mean anything. Kai Havertz looks to be moving a bit gingerly. Thomas Partey did very well, as did young Ethan in the build-up for that. Hayland to Hayland. As what did the Twitter nerds call that one day again, people? Pre-assist. Lovely. And again, I don't want to do too much, but one thing I've liked about Ethan and Miles in particular is obviously the team is going to give you confidence. The manager is going to give you confidence. You know you're there for a reason, regardless if you're young or nothing. Something's got you in the room, but nothing can prepare you once you cross that line and play. It's down to you to control yourself, and they're doing such, people. So yeah, it's lovely, man. Lovely cameos from MLS and Ethan, really. More so Miles at this moment in time because he just simply been on the pitch longer, but. Lovely, man. 2 assists, and a goal for Kai Havertz, Trossard, Havertz, and Zinchenko. Zinchenko with a rocket of a goal got things kicked off, really. So, yeah, man, no complaints from me. And again, people, barring any flops, which he doesn't do. I'm live with Dan Potts at like 1 p.m. UK time tomorrow. On that, let me actually make sure to edit. I'll get a thumbnail. Yo, bro, can I get a review thumbnail when you're ready of the Arsenal game? Havertz, Zinni. Who else could be there? Gabriel Jesus. Lewis-Skelly. Don't forget Leverkusen. Don't forget score now. Thanks, bro. Sorry, people. The content never stops. But yeah, we're winning 4-0. And I mean, there were points last season where we were battering teams in this ilk. Long may it continue going into the next season, man. 300 likes, you lot are amazing. Don't forget as well, Sunday, the work doesn't stop, people. We will be watching Arsenal versus Lyon on Sunday. Probably don't quote me, but we should be watching the Olympic final, obviously, on Friday. It's Community Shield business on Saturday. Ethan's passing to Trossard. Trossard going to get 90 minutes. Him and Kai have got a lot of minutes. Oh, that would have been a great turn. But see, it's stuff like that Ethan's going to learn. No nonsense from Tatsoba. And to be honest, you want these players out their comfort zone. Like, obviously, I don't want my players to struggle. But I'm not interested in, at this moment in time, obviously in contexts like this, yeah, but I'm not interested in Ethan and Miles excelling and getting 1 million assists and goals and doing all of that in the 21s. They need to be outside their comfort zone. Ethan needs to get pocketed against one of the and have rings run around him in midfield. That's how you learn. If Miles is going to be a left back, you need to play against a Bukayo Saka-esque right winger who's going to tear you open. That's how you learn. Speaking of Bukayo Saka, he's tracked back very well and won the ball. Oh, ref, he's kicked there. Ref has said play on. Lovely from Ethan. Then slows the game down. Kai Havertz. I mean, we're always going to be worried when Saka receives knocks and whatnot. No, Martinelli doesn't look like it. Thomas is so composed. DG, who's better, Cheeto or your Ethan? My Ethan, man. I don't care about Cheeto no more. Alonso and the new Invincibles come to the carpet and get rolled up. You love to see it. He is, man, but he's 14. We have to allow it. For me, it's the physicality. Not that he's barging people, but physically at it, speed of thought, plays with a swagger. Really talented boy. Dare I say he's more talented than someone we're seeing today? I don't know, though. You have to ask someone. Declan Rice almost loses the ball. Somehow we win it back. Ooh, Declan Rice. I don't know what shot that was. So, DG, the question is, why can't we do this in the Champions League? It's very different in the Champs, man. More substitutions due. Eddie and Nketiah, Josh Nichols and Heavens coming on. Just getting their last instructions from Mikel Arteta. Number 4, who's that? Oh, Benjamin White. It is bright, really. I ain't seen these lot in so long. Wait, what's going on? Oh, Miles is going to get some water. I was about to say what's going on there. Eddie and Nketiah is captaining us. So, I mean, what's going on there? So there's going to have to be a bit of a shuffling around. You'd imagine Josh goes right back. And then I'm not really sure on what we're going to do past that. I mean, Miles, well, no. Josh goes right back. Lewis Skelly stays left back. Can you imagine Heaven and Kiri are the centre halves? Really and truly. Kai Havertz, 70 minutes under the tank. Bearing in mind, I rate Kai, man. Like you played a lot of games for Arsenal, had a little break, ran off to the Euros, come back, played significant minutes. I mean, Kai Havertz might not be everyone's cup of tea. He's definitely not, in my image, a title-winning striker, but he can be part of the squad. He's committed. He's a decent player, man. Just need more. Bukayo Saka, ref. One guy they're not trying to let live is Bukayo Saka, if I'm honest with you. He's getting a lot of late ones. Thoughts on Eddie to Marseille rumours? Get it done tomorrow. It doesn't look like Martinelli's being drawn for, but there'll be plenty of other opportunities. And we need to get young Heaven's situation sorted out or risk losing him. He's got interest from Premier League clubs as well as Dortmund. Kivio, you've got to take responsibility. Come on, boy, broski. Keep it simple, bro. Josh Nichols reminds me of what I used to look like in secondary school, playing right back with Cable. So I'm here for it. Ethan, one that provokes excitement. Partey, Ethan. And he looks like it's like the penny's dropped. You're here now. Like, not that he's here, but like you're part of this. Like the way you're passing. I know it's only pre-season, but you can't, and we know who he is, obviously, but you don't look any different from your significantly more experienced teammates. David Raya. Go on, Nichols. Carry that. Fullback Union. Carry that. Movie settings. Go on. Carry it. Saka once. Don't run into a blind daddy, lad. All right. He's giving Saka instructions. I hear it. Bukayo Saka. Gives it back to him. Square it. Oh, unlucky. But that all started from you. Not going to lie. Leverkusen the kind of shit today, innit? Really. You know, as much as we're doing all right. DG taking Madueke or Mickey Mount. Yeah, I'd rather Mason Mount, personally. Martinelli and Jesus come back this season, inshallah. Trust me. Praying on everything. Now, naturally, I'm not going to lie, you'd imagine Leverkusen get a goal or so. Just because of the changes we've made, there could be a lot of space. But Leverkusen, just as they're about to attack, they've done terrible there, ain't they? Thomas Partey. Okay, the stream has frozen. Hinkapies off. Saka, whoever the new left back is, cook them, please. Partey, man, that you're killing Trossard with them attempted crosses there. There we go. Thomas Partey on the ball. Ethan, man on. Lovely. Trossard. Lewis Skelly. Oh, first bad pass today. Don't watch that. You're human. We won a clean sheet. DG California starter next season. You'd imagine so, but honestly, who knows, man? Who knows? Because he ain't even kicked a ball at the club at this moment in time. Mexican waves going throughout the Emirates. Lovely stuff. I do miss the days when the Emirates Cup was 2 days. It was 2 days, isn't it? Yeah, it was 2 days, but 4 games, if that makes sense. Not really a fan of it spread out in the way it is. I used to love going to the Emirates Cup, man. You go watch the early game, and then obviously it's Arsenal, and then we keep it moving. 15 minutes to go. Granite. Not really the comeback he would have wanted. I don't think this will be... Oh, okay, we won it back. Miles almost got nutmeg. This calm. I don't think this will be the only return. Who knows? We might cross paths next season, and it might be a lot different. David Raya. Kivior. Partey. Little decent cameo from Partey. He's trying to get an assist of the season early doors, man. I don't know what he was doing there. Curse of the commentator in full effect. Late to the table. YouTube notifications moving mad. Big up DG, my brother. Chat, keep hitting the likes for DG and sub if you ain't. Tell them again. Granite. I'm not gonna lie, they don't look... I'm not trying to belittle our performance, but Leverkusen, not only do they look poor, they look off the pace. They don't look as fit as us, man. And we've conceded. I mean, preseason or not, it's not that I knew it. You lot knew it. You literally can rewind the stream in which I literally said we're likely going to concede because of the changes. You could see the fluidity, what was happening. At least that's something for the Leverkusen fans to get behind, people. Poor goal for us to concede. And just like that, I'm actually happy my stream actually died. Hey, my stream's defo an Arsenal fan, probably exaggerating, but no need to lock it off. Come on, what's going on here? I was living. All right, hey, we're going to get copyright issues. Sixes and sevens, really. I don't think Raya's covered himself. I'm not blaming Raya. He's not covered himself with any glory, but that's what happens when you make that many changes. You're going to concede, really. Good play. Only bit of decent play from Leverkusen today. They get their goal. It's Arsenal 4, Leverkusen 1. Predictable, man. In a sense, but adds a bit of a sour taste because the clean sheet could have been special, but got 4 goals here, really. G1 grow up, mate. all terrible there, man. Horrible defending from everyone. And this is what I mean. Big up Miles Lewis Skelly, but I want you to make mistakes like this. How do you learn in life? You make mistakes. You have to make those mistakes. And his temperament, obviously. Oi, ref! Oi! Ref, what's that? Preseason or not? Lewis Skelly's legs in the North Bank. What the hell is that? Just as I was saying before he got karate chopped, the temperament to keep going and trying things, but I'd rather... You need to make mistakes. How are you going to learn? And in a game where it generally means nothing because nobody really cares. A lot of people want these young players to develop and become these guys, but they fail to understand they're going to make mistakes. Seasoned professionals make mistakes. He's not alone. The whole team got caught against the run of play. Learn. Just like for the young heathen fella, he weren't alone, but when he got turned by Højlund, you learn. You don't get these. You're not punished, or you don't have these moments at under 21s level typically. When you're playing against professionals, this is where you do. It's education for these lot. There's a bit towards the end of the game now, even though there's 13 minutes, there's too many gaps. Probably owing to the changes. There's a lot of gaps in our... Saka's done well defensively there. There's starting to become a lot of gaps in our play. We probably need to be a bit more rigid and tighter in that regards. Ethan, I think he killed Eddie with that. Can Eddie keep that? Keep the ball, Eddie. Hey, lens settings. Keep the ball. Lovely, Eddie. Spoke too soon. Alonso going to make it next season. Company next up. To be fair with you, after you've been invincible and unbeaten, even if you win the league, there's nothing that can replicate such, in it, really. Because we are expected to win these games if we are who we think we are. I mean, we're expected to win every game, but I mean, like, come on now. We are going to win him, but come on now. Right. Who's this Samu Chelsea boy? Don't know too much about him, really, but he was on loan somewhere. Looks quite decent. Seems to have all the fundamentals, but I don't know at this moment in time if he's going to be the striker that Chelsea fans want. It just seems like another development kind of guy. Who knows, though? They're after him a lot, so there's got to be some willingness to believe in him. Spanish under 21s international. He's got a decent bit of pace. I'm not saying he's better or worse, but there's nothing for me as an ignorant fan that ain't scouted him and whatnot at this moment in time, and I'm prepared to revise my opinion. Like, don't really look any better or worse than a Fofana, than Mr. Jackson. You're kind of one of them. Like, if I was a Chelsea fan, like, I either want a proper striker, which I hope he would be if I was a Chelsea fan, or it's probably an Nkunku thing, really. What's going on here, man? The stream is acting. You gonna restart? Okay, fair enough. We're back now. Learning curve, and that's what it's about. You've got to be like that. That's why I say. Obviously, many fans. That's the thing. A lot of fans don't care about youth development. A lot of fans don't care how you get there. You have to make mistakes, just like Ethan there. You ain't got a million years on the ball. Academy level, you could take 4, 5, 6 touches. You might have to take 1 to 2 to maybe 3 mats. Because look, this is giving away a corner now. If this is a goal, this is where you learn. Oh, Martinelli, do. Who's he coming on for then? So Trossard come off. I could be wrong. Anyways, Leverkusen corner. Just skipped everybody. Fortunately for us. No Salah today. That's unfortunate to see. Needs to go and find a loan. And Ketty has been poor this preseason. Not a clue, my dude. Who's coming on? Off. Trossard. Okay, 80 minutes. Oh, Trossard's still on the pitch. Needed to come off, man. 80 minutes. Have your little rest. We got Villa, City, Spurs when the Prem starts. City trying to strike. Sorry, Chelsea trying to strike a chord, but right now it's minor. Big up living in London. Big up Deluded Gooner. Commentates on all the games properly. When the season starts, let's start putting the substitutions that come on. Carry on doing your thing up the Arsenal. Appreciate that. Come on, Martinelli, man. The boys from Brazil were back. We're speaking it into existence. Gabriel Jesus, 15 league goals. Martinelli, double-figure goal contributions. Not going to lie, I completely forgot about Reece Nelson, you know, until the camera panned to him. Completely forgot Reece Nelson was a thing. There's no in between. He might be the truth or a reball. You're right. Could be like, it's an exaggeration, but you could be on the Nico Williams thing or you could be on the Inaki Williams thing. 9 minutes to go, folks. Boniface on the pitch. So he's a striker a lot of Arsenal fans like the look of. Injury killed him, though, man. Lewis Kelly intercepts Kivio and Heaven. You've got to talk there. I like that, Kivio. You took responsibility, just cleared it, but both of you've got to talk. You're both going for the same ball. And Kivio, you're the more experienced man. Come on. Not that I'm blaming you, but come on, naturally. Heaven, man, you don't play everyone on side. You know, look, why are you dropping back? The whole team isn't. You have Leverkusen on the ball here. The two young boys in Nichols and even you're playing people on side and you're not stepping when they're stepping. Look what you did. But again, learning curves. Fortunately for us, surely it's a goal kick. It's a goal kick. Nah, Naki's crap, man. I used to think he's the truth. He's crap, man. He's durable, though. Very durable player, but he's crap, man. Lewis Skelly is hands down my favorite youngster. I'm a big fan. Hard to not be a fan. No, Arteta doesn't want no games. Shouting up. DG, what do you mean by 0-0? Focus, innit? 0-0. Yeah, it is quite crazy what Bilbao are doing. And maybe that's why, you know, they're even smarter for locking down Nico Williams. And obviously it makes it even harder to replace him. And any other clubs that do that. Thomas Partey hooks it clear. Eddie and Ketty giving chase. Be brave, be brave. So you lot could have gambled on that. I don't know, to be fair. Do you think Timber is injured again? Arteta always lies about injuries. I hope not. You are right. Managers do lie, but I think he's just being left out as a precaution. But I'd have to go and watch. Not that you can draw conclusions from the training videos, but I'd love to watch the training videos again, man. Because has he been in them? Hope he's okay. Nichols, Ethan. Oh, see, dilly-dallying on the ball. Sometimes you just have to give and go. Keep it simple. But I do hope in the next few years, man. Got a Lewis Skelly there, Ethan there, Saka's there. Hopefully a couple of other young players come through. I know everyone says it, but for me, it really hits different seeing Hayland guys progress to the first team, man. And just getting opportunities. Big up troops, man. It's loading, it's loading. Shout out Curtis. You'd have to ask Curtis, mate. Into the hands of David Raya. Come on, boys. Can we get one more? 4-1's great. 5-1 be even better. I know I'm dream chasing. David Raya. Come, man. Play it simple. Kivio once. Okay, Raya. I think Raya's clocked. You know what? It's not the thing right now. We're just going to go long. There's no Kai anymore. It's nice that, I know I've been saying this for a number of months now, but it's nice to see Raya looking comfortable, man. Like this time last year when he signed, I won't say it was toxic, but it was a madness with him and Ramsdale. Like, it became a circus. I don't think Arteta helped it. Not that he meant to cause problems, but I don't think he helped it when he was saying, I'll substitute 2 keepers and all of that. Anyone who knows anything about football, you know that's a myth. Kivio and everyone's getting very tight up the field. We could be in trouble here. Not when you got Raya. Raya hooks it long. What have you seen there, Raya? First and seconds. You know what? Had we have won the second ball there, we could have been in there. GG Skelly or Ethan interview with Dale. I don't think we'll get that, but I'd love to, man. I had my little run, man, with the young players. They both follow me on Instagram, though, so I'll pick them up. But yeah, man, there's a lot of red tape with these things. You think any of these youngsters regularly play throughout the season, on a regular basis, where we're fighting for the Prem, the champs and stuff? Probably not, but you never know. I'd imagine Ethan purely because Lewis dived in there. It seems a bit more easier to blood in young attackers than young defenders because obviously the mistakes are less threatening. You know, if my young striker misses a 1v1, it can cost us the game indirectly, but it's very different for if my young defender dilly-dallies. I would hope to see them get some league cup starts and things of that ilk, some minutes off the bench, etc., etc. If we find ourselves in a situation like we did when we had a couple of them on the bench against, was it PSV? Then I think, yeah, see, look, Miles playing out from the back there. Touch got to be better. I don't think they're ready for regular first team football like that. They're ready for extended minutes, but they're not ready yet. And they shouldn't be ready yet. And also physically, if you're playing on a Tuesday and a Saturday, bro, these lot are still going through puberty. You know, they're 16, 17, 18 even. Poor pass from Leverkusen. Man on Saks. Sak looks like he wants to put the burners on. Look at the strength. Star boy. Oi, ref. Ref. Ref, it's pre-season. Look how he absolutely took out Saka. And then there's another one. You lot deal with him in the tunnel. What the hell is that? And they're still not putting out the ball. Someone kick this shoot, man. Don't dive in, Lewis. Lovely. Ref, you're taking a piss. Pre-season or not, there's a mad tackle on Lewis Skelly. There's a mad one on Saka. What's going on? They'll not say that Emirates guy when he comes up. We all watch the Euros. Muppet. Absolutely Muppet. Absolute Muppet. Anyone's performance caught you by surprise this game, DG? Surprise? Zinchenko, if I'm honest. Obviously, it was being got at defensively. I'd say Zinchenko. I think Jorginho's kind of poor today for his own standard, if I'm honest. I think the young lads have done well. I think Declan Rice looks like someone that needs to get back in the groove of things. I think Havertz done well today. Very well, actually, even. Grew into the game. think Fabio Vieira didn't really do nothing. Martinelli running into blind alleys, nothing new here. Saka keep that on. Nichols wants Nichols support him. Lovely. This is your time to shine. Fullback Union. Oh, he tried to find Eddie. Finds Eddie. Eddie. Pardon me. Unlucky. Why are we stopping? Why are young players walking? In fact, why is everyone walking? Pre-season or not? Win the ball back. Last time I checked, the ref ain't blown for 90 minutes, lad. Said a while ago, he's up for it. Get on to him then. DG, what's your biggest fear? Failure. Well, in fact, that's a lie. I'm not scared of failing, but failing and giving up. Not reaching my potential. DG, we're winning something this season and you've got to give an answer on which cup or league. I don't understand the answer because football is very complex. You know, in many ways, you could define winning something as winning trophies and silverware come May. But in many ways, seeing Mikel Arteta blooding these young players, trying different systems, seeing Kai Havertz and David Raya, two players, for example, that, you know, many people sat there and didn't necessarily be convinced about, seeing people kind of get behind them. For me, that's winning titles. And you can't really put money on that. You know, I got the PR thing on lock. Listen, I want to win the Prem, the big ears and the Prem. If you can bring me a Champions League, I'm all for that, man. I'll do a lot for Arsenal to win the champs, man. And that's the end of the game, people. I want to see more academy players make the lineup. Yeah, I hear that, but then Arsenal still have to be competitive, if I'm honest. Big up DG, should be bigger than what you are, regular attendee. Appreciate that, man. It's praise like that that keeps the guy going. But people, this is our first game back at the Emirates, technically. We've obviously got Lyon on Sunday, but it's a good way to start. The biggest negative I can say is that we didn't keep a clean sheet. But other than that, saw some young players, saw a great goal from Zinchenko. Kai Havertz got himself 2 goals and assists. Somebody asked me who caught my eye. I think Gabriel Jesus did quite well today. Yeah, man. The main thing is just fitness and more minutes in the legs. And we've done that. Hopefully there's no injuries. A couple of players got some bad tackles. Hopefully there's nothing there. But yeah, man, we keep it moving. And after the Lyon game on Sunday, ain't nothing else to say, people. It is what it is. It's time to do this. Crazy PR. You got to, man. I'm trying to work for Arsenal one day, man. Stopped watching Curtis, to be honest, just not for me. Shout out Curtis, man. That's not nice. Partey is not looking too good, in my opinion. Better performance from Partey. Raya was treated like, but this is it. Football's a very emotional game. Yeah, Rice looked a bit bandulu today, but how many times have we said Rice has had an off game since he signed for the club? And if we're saying that about him in pre-season, who cares? Martinelli and Gabriel argued about something, but who cares, man? It's all bants, it's all in jest, and it's all good, man. So yeah, man, Ethan will learn. Naturally, Ethan's going to learn. The man's 17, or 16 or whatever, but people expect these young players, because they're highly rated, they play well for 10 minutes, not criticizing him. You've got to be the best thing since sliced bread, and you've got to be amazing. They're still learning. They ain't even got 100 career appearances. They even got 50 league career appearances. They even got 50 league appearances. They even got 90 minutes of Premier League or professional football. So yeah, smash the likes if you haven't. Man said, buy an assistant coach looks like a Spino. First time here and I loved it. Appreciate that, man. That's what we aim to do. That's what we aim to do, man. Nah, I wish I could cry, but I'm not crying. But yeah, man. So yeah, people, we move on to Sunday. Obviously, we will be doing a watch along for Sundays. It's back to football now, really and truly. Time flies. Again, couldn't have done it without you lot, people, whether you're on Twitch, Twitter, or YouTube. We've got 345 likes. Amazing stuff from you lot. You lot. Amazing stuff, man. As usual, one love for you lot support. I guess you lot are tired of my rambling now. Let me love and leave you lot. Again, make sure you're following my other platform as well, DG Sports Views. In terms of a review today of the game, even though it's not really relevant, I'll get one done for you lot. Tomorrow, I should have Dan Potts on the channel at 1 p.m. So we'll speak Arsenal and anything else. And at some point, I'll go on the community tab and ask you lot for any potential sort of talking points or things you want covered. So yeah, man, content and more content. But for now, let me love and leave you guys. Peace.
Against this right back, Charlie.